College Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Hi, good evening, afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Council Bluffs, Iowa, and to Titan Field here at the home of the Lewis Central Titans. And Darren Dunn joins me in the booth. And Darren, we just finished up the countdown to kickoff brought to you by Papa John's, and we're getting set for football action here in Council Bluffs.
Yep, I couldn't have asked for a better day. There's a nice little breeze out there. Temperature is nice for a day of football.
Band on the field right now. We'll probably break in a second for our national anthem coming your way. As a matter of fact, they're getting set to do that right now, so we're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
If you could own a vacuum that would last decades for under $200, would that pique your interest? The bag lady Donna Pitzer has bought out the inventory of another Panasonic dealer and is passing the savings on to you. Panasonic vacuums are the standard for many, and right now, get a top-of-the-line Panasonic Performance vacuum for only $199.95. These vacuums normally sell for $400, but right now, you can own one for only $199.95 with free delivery. These prices won't last, and neither will these vacuums. Call the bag lady Donna Pitzer at 663-4322.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Superstores. We know when looking for a pre-owned vehicle, finding the exact vehicle can be tough. So we want to make it easy. We have over 500 pre-owned vehicles available in our huge inventory. How do we do it, you ask? Well, we have available in inventory from all of our other locations. And unlike the big chain stores, we do not charge to bring one in. So if we don't have it, we'll find it or we'll get it. So come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're First for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Howdy, and welcome back to Council Bluffs, Iowa. Glenn Grunwald, Darren Dunn, so glad to have you along, and special thanks to Papa John's Pizza for countdown to kickoff, as well as the sideline reports, where Darren will be both up in the booth with me today and then also on the field. And is Randy McKay, Chief Engineer, back in the studios for the Blue Dragon Sports Network. And first time in 88 years, ranked number 1. The polls came out this last Tuesday. It's a big honor in 88 years of football action, Darren, and we've been close a couple times. The last time was a 4-week stint, Steve Carpenter tells me, back in 2010 when we were number 2 for 4 weeks, but first time for number 1. Lots of upsets last week, and actually the first Thursday as well with Garden City going down.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to that earned versus given conversation we had in the open. You know, right now you have to feel like you've been given that number 1 spot. Now you have to come out here and earn it on the field against a team, yeah, that's ranked below you at the moment, but can you prove on the field that you're actually better than this team?
Hutchinson's Mark Wright, the leading rusher right now for the Blue Dragons, and that's a little bit of a concern. We talked about that. You brought that up exactly, the fact that you worry a little bit about that you got one young man that is most of your offense, and I think they're going to try to probably fix that today. They got to get the running game going. Nice job last week by a couple of different players that kind of popped up and played pretty good from that run game. They played a little bit better than what a couple others have, but I also think Collins has really got to get going. He's the one that can really get something going.
Yeah, it is problematic for me. Look at a guy who's 73% of your offense last week. You've got to give Mark Wright some help, and it starts in that backfield. Is it going to be Aaron Collins, Kendall Cross, or Trey Coleman? One of those guys has to step up and give this team yards and take away some of those hits, right? Take away some of those extra hits that Mark has been taking because he's toting the ball a little bit extra. He's been your leading rusher in both of those games. You go back to last season, Aaron Collins starts out the season so strong, 4 touchdowns in the 2 games, averaged over 100 yards a game, gets hurt in the pregame against Iowa Western, so we don't get to see him against the Reivers last year in Gowan Stadium. Desmond Jackson steps up, and the Dragons were very limited in the run game last season against the Reivers. In fact, only ran for 16 yards last year. So needless to say, the run game needs to be there today for the Blue Dragons, and you hope it comes from a running back on this roster.
Yeah, Collins with 15 carries, 39 yards, and Trey Coleman really stepped up last week. He's a freshman from West Monroe, Louisiana, and 20 totes, 101 yards overall in 2 games. He had over 80 yards last week and really played very, very well. And you also have Kendall Cross out there that has played well, 18 carries for 64 yards. So somebody's got to step up and do a really good job. We're going to have the flip of the coin coming your way in just a little bit, so we'll see who's going to have a beautiful day here. Partly cloudy is when we got here, sunshiny right now, and I think you're going to see it maybe slip up into the 80s, maybe a little bit warmer. We'll check game time temperature in just a little bit, but the wind will be a little bit of a factor, but not a whole lot when you really come right down to it.
Yeah, you take a look at the flag, and every so often you get that nice little breeze where it'll push it a little bit more toward the north, but other than that, it's pretty still.
Some precipitation to the north of us, north of the Omaha area. Actually, right now it's game time temperature 77 degrees with the wind out of the north-northeast at about 8 miles per hour. We'll see if it gusts any or not, but there is a line of thunderstorms that are north of Iowa, Omaha, and kind of headed to the north-northeast as well. So we'll see if anything else pops up. One other game going on at 12 noon right now, Coffeyville and Iowa Central. We'll check a score on that in a little bit. All the other games are this evening. Ellsworth at Garden City. Garden City ranked number 10 in the nation. And then, like we said, Highland at Butler, which could be an interesting contest. Butler jumped up to number 3. And Independence with the bye, Fort Scott with the bye as well. Dodge City also with a bye week. So that's going to make it a little interesting. Let's take about a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back and set the stage for the kickoff that's just minutes away as we get set for football right here on Country 102.9 KHUT in Hutchinson, as well as KWBW 1450 AM and 98.5 FM in Hutchinson. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Was brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coppin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson. Hi, this is Rob, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite places in Kansas to get a melt-in-your-mouth cheeseburger. It's RV Drive-In, where they've been serving up fresh food, not fast food, since 1948. They're famous for their burgers, but you can also try their homemade pork tenderloin sandwich, patty melts, BLTs, and so much more. Tuesday, Thursday evenings, Friday, and Saturday, they make their homemade onion rings that are the best I've ever eaten. RV Drive-In, Kansas' oldest drive-in at 201 East Avenue A, and online at rvdrivein.com. Go Blue Dragons!
Welcome back. We're back again for football action right here in Council Bluffs. As it looks like the Reivers won the toss. They elected to receive. They'll defend the goal to our north. Hutchinson will kick off left to right if you're watching and listening. So glad to have you along today, both on the radio network as well as on the Blue Dragon Sports Network as well. Darren Dunn, my sidekick today. And Darren, I think it's going to be a very entertaining ball game when you have number 1 versus number 7. Anytime you have a top 10, it's pretty special.
4th time out of the 7 times these teams have met that both of them have been ranked. You remember last year it was a 2 versus 4 matchup. And the last 3 times these teams have met, it's been decided by 9 points or fewer. 2 of those 3 games decided on the very last play of the game.
Both teams on the sidelines right now, huddled up and getting set. Here comes the special teams unit for the Blue Dragons as Sebastian Garcia will throw the football and get set to kick it off as we are just about set to get underway. And back deep to receive, wearing the Reivers dark black uniforms. And we'll have a couple different players back. Looks like it's going to be Zion Williams back there on the near side. Williams on the near side, number 5, and we'll see who's on the far side. It looks to be number 6. So 5 and 6. Williams along with White back to receive for the Reivers. And here we go, opening kickoff for today's football game is going to be taken right at the 1, and up the right side will go the Reivers, and finally contact made just across the 20-yard line, just to maybe a pickup of a return of about 20, 21 yards, and that's where the Reivers will set up their offense, and they will have the first go with Cam Thomas, the quarterback for the Reivers.
Cam Thomas, 3 touchdowns on the year, 3 interceptions, and all 3 of those touchdowns have come to different receivers. You say receivers, but 2 out of the 3 are actually running backs.
They're going to put it at the 22, and they'll start it right there. Cam will be back in the shotgun. Cam Thomas, he'll go to the running back with White on his hip to the right side. Just put triples out on the left side again, and stumbles in the backfield, fell over actually tripped over the 20-yard line, fell forward. Maybe a pickup. They're going to say maybe a loss of about a half yard. I thought maybe they're going to give him a yard on the play, but his knee hit right back at the 22, so second down and 10.
Fortunate he doesn't hit that wide hole to the left of the line.
They'll set up again. Cam Thomas, the quarterback. Back and wants to throw the football. Gets a little flat coming underneath. It's incomplete pass. Dropped by, looks like Dorsey out there. Incomplete pass. Coming out to the flat to the left side. Well defended out there as well by Hutchinson. As coming up was LeVar Gardner out at will linebacker spot to be right on top of it, but the pass was a little behind him.
Yeah, you see a little bit of that inaccuracy from Thomas, who's hit just 52% of his receivers this year.
Third down and 10 now for the Reivers. Cam Thomas checks off on the play, looks to the sidelines. Matt helmets with the Reiver insignia, quite bright and chrome, trimming out the Reivers on their helmets. Back to pass. Thomas slicks across, goes up the middle, just about picked off. In and out of the hands of the Blue Dragons' Ronald Williams, who had a couple picks last week, and just in and out of the hands for the young man out of Faraday, Louisiana.
Read that one well. Thomas again throws it a little bit short of his receiver, and the defender was able to read that route and come back on it.
So they have to punt the football away, and we watched in the pregame. They were really doing a good job as Cody Lindquist, number 37, was really booming them and getting a hold of some, Darren. You even mentioned it looked like it was shot out of a cannon on a like 60, 65 yards, 70 yards even on one.
Yeah, and his 33 yards of punt on the season is about half of what he was doing in pregame.
Here it comes, little nice rush as they get close to it, but going to be taken on the outside by Tinsley out of bounds, and it'll be right at the 45 of Hutchinson. So the Blue Dragons will set up shop. They'll have the football the first time this afternoon. 14-15 to go in this first quarter of play. No score as of yet, as the Reivers punt the football away, and Hutchinson will have it. They'll mark it officially at the 47. So Hutchinson with great field position to start this first possession they're having today.
Yeah, your defense holds strong, a nice 3 and out, and gives your offense great field position to start the game.
Hutchinson will send wide receivers right and left, twins on the near side to our side, the right side, and Hutchinson still goes back there with, going to send a man in motion. That's going to be Collins on the outside, catches the ball into the flat, up to 50, 45, 40, stumbles forward inside of Reiver territory at the 41-yard line. Pretty nice catch out of the flat right there for Aaron Collins.
Yeah, just his 3rd reception of the year, and now he has positive yards in the receiving game. Had 2 receptions before that had gone for no yards.
That one was a good one, a little flat side on the right side. Here's, again, Mark Wright. Throws it on the right side. The pass is caught on the outside. That is going to be Donaldson, and he carries it forward. I think he has the first down. They'll mark it at the 29. So Donaldson moves the chains on that pass on the right side. And 2 for 2 so far is Mark Wright.
That's what we said in the open. Donaldson would get more looks with Burt sidelined and that injury.
That's nice little safe tosses right there. Here's Wright. The give, it gives to the running back. That's going to be Coleman. It's sniffed out pretty good by the Reivers. So little no play actually, even maybe. Let's see if it's going to be about a gain of a yard on the play.
Seeing something new from the Blue Dragons offensively with the 2 running backs set. You've got Collins and Coleman back there, and that time with the run to the left. Collins kind of being that fullback and trying to set a block there for Coleman.
Coleman lost a yard on the play, second down and 11. Mark Wright barks out the signals, gets the snap, and rolls to his left. Wants to throw it, has a receiver open, goes to his tight end right at the 26-yard line. The tackle made nicely by the Reivers as he pushed him out of bounds, but the catch was made over there by Stacy Marshall, sophomore out of Montgomery, Alabama.
That's something that they'll go back to. Tinsley had his man beat on the outside as well with a little bit of a wheel route.
3rd and 6 facing the Dragons. Football at the 25. Got to go to the 19 for the 1st and 10. Mark Wright back to pass. Steps up. As a receiver opens. Caught at the 11. First down, Dragons right at the 11-yard line. Tinsley with the catch.
Wonderful route by Tinsley. He's able to beat the man-to-man coverage and stop right in front of the safety who was bearing down on him.
Mitchell Tinsley gathered it in right at the 11-yard line, and that's where they're going to stick it. I'm actually going to say on the 12. So 1st and 10 for Hutchinson. Again, to halfback with Tinsley on the run and tries to get outside. Maybe picked up about a yard as it just didn't start to develop. He tried to get to the edge. Nice stop made out there by the Reivers. Tucker Cruz able to come up and make the stop. That'll be 2nd down and 9 now. A gain of a 1 on the play. Mark Wright, the quarterback, has Collins on his right hip. Back in the pistol. Back to pass. Steps out of the pocket. Now he's going to tote it and keep it away out down to the 5, 4, 3. Leans forward down to the 1-yard line. Devin Drew, number 90, was able to come up and help out with the stop. Kenny Wilkins also for Iowa Western out there on the stop, number 32.
Looked like Wright was going to take a shot in the middle of 3 Reivers, and shows you how shifty he is to kind of move in there and not take a hit from any of those defenders.
Ball officially on the 2-yard line, so nice pickup for Mark Wright as he looked to see what was there, didn't waste too much time, and was able to knife inside. He's really had a good year so far rushing the football, which we're a little concerned about. But he's mixing in the run and the rush right now, in the throw right now. Here's Mark Wright. Looks to the left side, angles to the back to the right. Touchdown, Mark Wright. Dragons score it. Got a flag on the field. So we'll see what the flag is going to be all about. He took it in from 2 yards out, moved to his left, and angled back to his right. Darren, did you see the...
It's looking like they're calling an illegal formation.
Okay, might be illegal formation against Hutchinson.
Which is strange because it looked like just about everybody was on the line. So they had more than the necessary 7.
Ryan Rhodes is wanting an explanation from the Whitecap right now, and he gets it. So they're going to march it backwards, and it will be 1st and goal from the 7. So a 5-yard penalty takes away the touchdown by Mark Wright.
Not the first time a touchdown's been taken away in this end zone.
Exactly. Happened a year ago, 2 years ago when we were up here. Tinsley on the left side. They'll flood the left side over there as well. Also, Kobe Phillips fell right up the middle. Is going to be right back to about the 2-yard line. So basically, he got that 5-yard penalty back. Dragon on the ground is hurt right now, an offensive lineman. Let's see if he's going to be okay. They'll unpile, and I think he is going to be all right.
You've got another flag. This time, though, it goes against the Reivers.
So the Reivers
are offside.
Offsides, and tell you what, that gain was about the same as they would pick up, so it might go back to the 2 again. They haven't officially put it up on the board as yet.
The only thing it would save you would be a down.
Exactly. Looks like it's going to be right in between the 1 and 2 yard line. So Brody trying to make the call right now. Like had explained it to him. Collins comes into the ball game now, replacing. Is going to replace Kendall Cross. So the ball was at the 7, so if it's a 5-yard penalty and they take it, it's going to be at the 2-yard line. They'll mark it at the 1, so let's see.
He's going to decline it.
He's going to decline it.
You can't move more than half the distance to the goal, so
it's not going to get that much of a. It's going to be a better situation. So 2nd down and 1 from the 1. Mark Wright, the quarterback. He has Evans back in that backfield as well, with him set up on the right side of his hip. Also tight end Marshall is back there to protect. Collins, the tailback. Full house backfield. Gives it off. Mark keeps it. Pitch on the outside is going to be picked up by the Dragons. They'll take it in for a TD, and a touchdown's going to hold right there. Scoring it for Hutchinson was Tyrone Evans. That ball, that was a lateral, but it bounced to get there, didn't it?
Yeah, scary situation. Turned into points for the Blue Dragons. That ball probably seemed like it was on the ground for an eternity before it was picked up by Evans.
First time I have seen a lateral bounce pass for a TD. And it's good for 6 for Hutchinson. Time is 10:52 in the first quarter of play. Here comes the hole from Arrington. The kick is on its way. It is up, and it is good. Garcia's kick is good. And with 10:52 to go in this first quarter of play, it's Hutchinson 7, the Reivers of Iowa Western nothing. We'll be back with more coming up right after this break.
In common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the medicine shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the medicine shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The medicine shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
9-play, 53-yard drive right there for the Blue Dragons, as, again, taking it in was Evans around that left side for the 1-yard touchdown. It was a lateral that bounced, so kind of a bounce pass. I'm not kidding when I say that. Ends up being 6 on the board and 7 with the Garcia extra point. Here comes Garcia's kickoff, and it's a high end-over-end kick all the way back into the end zone. They're going to play it out, and it's going to be a touchback. So, Darren, a pretty nifty drive right there for the Blue Dragons. 9 plays, half the field.
Nice drive. Had to score twice because you had that penalty initially. So we've seen a lot of resiliency from this team. You mentioned the things that happened in Ellsworth where you start off with that pick 6. You're able to bounce back from that and a couple other mistakes. Able to bounce back from a few things on that drive to put the ball in the end zone.
So now the defense will go out for the second time. Second position for the Reivers. 1st and 10 from the 25 for Iowa Western. Reivers are River Pirates is where they get their nickname from, and a very successful program. In their second year, they were national champions, and it's going to be a quick timeout. Are they going to talk things over? They are. They're going to take a timeout on the field. We'll get one in as well. 10:52 to go in the first quarter play. Hutchinson 7, the Reivers of Iowa Western nothing. We'll be back right after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Council Bluffs. We're at Lewis Central Stadium, the Titans Stadium, the home of the Titans. It's a high school stadium, Darren, and a pretty doggone nice one, however.
Yeah, something we see all across junior college there where you have split fields. Have one there in Gowans where the high school and the junior college both use the field.
They've been talking about it for some time, of maybe building a field, but so far they have not done that as of yet, so I think they've had some plans on the table. Cam Thomas still in there. White's the halfback, and they give it actually off to Brian Sneed, the running back out of Tampa, Florida, and he's met quickly by the defensive line for the Blue Dragons. Drops it back to the 20. 5-yard loss, Darren.
Good job by Navy Harris reading that one out, his 11th tackle of the season.
One of my favorite names of a defensive back, Navy Harris for the Blue Dragons. Again, he's out of Smith Station, Alabama. He is a sophomore. Cam Thomas looks to the sidelines as he gets his offense set. It continues. Brian Sneed will still be back there. They're going to call it delay a game, or is it a timeout taken in time? Did he get the timeout in time? So both teams will get together. So there will be another timeout taken. 7-0 Hutchinson with the lead. 10:18 to go in first quarter action. Again, we'll be back with more right after this.
The Kansas State Fair is such an exciting time for us at Pools Plus. Come by our booth and discover all of the savings. All CR Plastics furniture will be marked down during the fair. And as always, you'll find the biggest selection of American Whirlpool spas at all-time low prices. Pools Plus is in the Big Tent Caddy Corner from Lake Talbot, voted #1 place to buy a hot tub for the 7th year in a row. You can visit the other places, but why waste your time? Find the same great deals going on in-store at Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
Well, 7-0 here as Hutchinson leads it down at Iowa Central. It is Iowa Central leading the Coffeyville 14-3. That's in the second quarter of action. So that taking place as well today. By the way, we got #1 Seward in volleyball at 2 o'clock at the arena versus the Blue Dragon ladies. Here's Cam Thomas, the quarterback for Iowa Western. Gets the snap, wants to throw the football, looks to his left, has a receiver out there, catch is made, out of bounds, they're going to say, and it was out of bounds, incomplete. So the catch was made out there by Corey Reed Jr., one of Iowa Western's receivers. Nice coverage, however, as well by Ronald Williams.
Well, and you see again, Thomas kind of underthrows that one, so Reed actually had a little bit of a step on the defender, but the ball high and underthrown.
If he maybe would have came back for it, would have maybe been able to make the completion, but not the case. Third down and 15 now facing the Reivers. Back to pass is Thomas. Looks to his right this time. Outstretched arms, incomplete on the miss side. Over there was out for Rogers, and
the flag comes down.
Sure did. So probably some contact made. I didn't see it from this angle, but that's on the opposite side of the field. So the ball's coming back. Let's go see if it's going to carry with it an automatic first down, and I think it will. So it'll go out to the 35-yard line, and we'll have the 1st and 10. So the Reivers facing 3rd and 15. One long on the right side, and Darren, I didn't get a good look at it. Did you see the infraction?
I thought it was just good coverage by Art Green out there, and the officials saw it differently.
Yeah, Green might have grabbed a hold of him when I didn't see that, and I was watching the ball in the air. So now Cam Thomas with the 1st and 10 from his own 35 for the Reivers. Turns, gives it quickly to Sneed. Sneed's going to be wrapped up, a little bit of a gain. He goes out to about the 38-yard line, so pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7 forthcoming for the Reivers. Big number, Alex Curtin is the center for the Reivers. He's right out of Des Moines, so not too far up the road in Iowa. Cam Thomas, 2nd down and 7. Back to pass, wants to throw the football. Now he's going to run for his life. This pass rush by the Dragons gets out of the reach and is whopped out of bounds in a big way. Let me tell you, that was a hit put on by the Dragons as Oliver McDowell came and said, "Hello, I'm a Blue Dragon."
Didn't even bother wrapping up. Gave him a couple of forearm shivers on that one to knock him out of bounds.
Wow. So Steve Carpenter indicated that goes as a sack. So 9:27 to go. Clock keeps running because he was still in bounds. So 3rd down and 9 now. Ball on the 36, Reivers 36. See if they go to the pass, which they have today. Sneed's still in there at the running back spot on his left hip. Cam Thomas, the quarterback, out of the pistol. Steps back, steps up, makes the catch is made, but a nice coverage out there by the Dragons as coming up to make the stop for Hutchinson looked to be Gardner. Will Gardner, actually, it was thrown to number 4, which is Reed.
Ronald Williams.
Williams came up and made the stop. Thanks for Darren.
He had nice coverage. I mean, you give the underneath, right? Give that underneath route knowing that they have a full 10 yards to go on that one, and only gave up a little bit and was able to keep the receiver in front of him.
8:40 to go in this first quarter. They will punt the football away. Football located on the 37-yard line. Here they go, a little side rugby-style kick. It takes a nice bounce, but out of bounds on the far side. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at about the 33-yard line. So the second possession coming up for Hutchinson with 8:27 to go in this first quarter of play. They'll mark it right at the 37, 1st and 10 Hutch. Nice defense by Hutchinson, other than the pass interception.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's moved the ball right now for Iowa Western is that one 15-yard penalty on DPI.
Coach Strohmeyer talked about how good the Dragon defense was when you talked to him. He has a lot of respect for Ryan Rhodes and that top-ranked defense.
And you haven't seen that running game get going either. You know, both guys, Sneed and White, have had a shot at it.
Yeah, White was the starter, and Sneed was in the last possessions for the Reivers. Here's Hutchinson with the football right now. He'll set a man in motion. Brown will slide over to the left side. Fake to Collins. He goes to the right side. Catch is made at the 43. Good catch out there made by Hutchinson on a great effort. Coming up with it for the Hutch Blue Dragons will be Kobe Phillips.
Kobe, of course, his middle name, his first reception of the season. Decavius is his first name.
Decavius comes up with the big one right there. Brings up a 1st and 10 as they move the chains. Nifty job done by the Dragons. Kick out on the left side. Catch is made, and Kamari Brown kind of rolled over the player, but they say he was down at the 49. So Brown with the catch.
Great location of that pass by Mark Wright in the middle of that zone.
Looks like defensively, Zion Williams, number 5, made the stop on that far side. 7:42, clock moving away. 2nd down and 6 for Hutchinson. Mark Wright, the quarterback. He gives it off this time. It goes to Collins. He breaks loose into the secondary down to the 42-yard line. They might mark it at the 41. That'll move the chains for another Dragon. That was Kendall Cross for another Dragons first down. So Collins in there now on the hip of Mark Wright. And Collins with a quick opener right straight up the middle as he punched it through. The fake, and Mark Wright keeps it across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Stop was made out there by Keenan Stewart. So Hutchinson moving it very effectively, leading at 7-0 with 7:08 to go. 2nd down and 7. We're in the first quarter of play. Glenn Grunwald, Darren Dunn in Council Bluffs, Iowa. On the Titan field at a high school, Lewis Central. Back to pass is Wright, has plenty of time, goes for the bomb all the way down, and the receiver, touchdown! Scoring it for the Blue Dragons was number 83, Cordes Brahman. And that's 6 for Hutchinson. It makes it 13-0 Blue Dragons.
How about that for your first reception of the season? Goes for a TD.
Hutchinson with a great movement that Wright had all day with 6:51 to throw. He caught, again, the Blue Dragons all the way down on his first TD, Cordes Brahman. And Brahman was able to make the catch. He's out of Blythewood, South Carolina. The point after, the kick is on its way by Sebastian Garcia. It is good. And Hutchinson with a 14-0 lead with 6:51 to go in quarter one. Hutchinson with the lead. Nice drive by the Blue Dragons, the number 1 team in the nation. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
CC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members. Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coffin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
This is Carter File, President of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon Athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports Ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Well, Blue Dragons with a lead of 14-0. Garcia puts it out of the end zone. Touchback for Hutchinson. They'll mark it back at the 25. 2 big drives by the Blue Dragons in their first 2 possessions. This one took a little less time than the other one. 6:51 to go in the first quarter play. Result was the same, though, with a Braham catch for the TD on a great throw by Mark Wright.
Yeah, and he actually had a couple of options on that pass and goes for the long bomb for the TD. The Dragons now have moved the ball and scored both ways, on the ground and through the air.
41-yard touchdown by Braham. Here's Cam Thomas. Gives it off this time back in there for Iowa Western. Is going to be Zaquandre White. So he picks up a few yards on the carry. 2nd down and 2. That's probably the best run from the line of scrimmage that they've had all day today.
Yeah, averages 9.9 yards a carry. First time we've seen a little bit of that explosiveness.
White sits up on the left hip this time of Cam Thomas. Thomas looks to the side. Dragons get set up front. Guinness along with Eichner, Charles Johnson, Lewis Wallace, and Jackson up front for Hutchinson. Back to pass. Trying to throw the football and slings it out there. Has a receiver open. Catch is made at the Hutchinson 19. That throw was made by Shelton Applewhite. Applewhite, number 7 for Iowa Western, connects.
Yeah, so you see Thomas come out, have a little bit of trouble with his accuracy. They throw in Applewhite, and he's able to connect on his first pass, only his second completed pass of the year.
I didn't realize there was a new quarterback in there until he went back to pass, and I saw the number 7. Here's a give quickly to White. White gets away from the first, loses the first tackler and takes it all the way down to the 10. They'll move the chains, 1st and 10, maybe even 1st and goal. They'll mark it right at the 10-yard line for Iowa Western Reivers. So the Reivers came back out after getting punched in the mouth with 2 touchdowns by the Dragons with 5:51 to go in this quarter, and they're driving. Applewhite, the quarterback again. Back to pass, pressure on him, ball in and out of the hands. It threw him behind his intended receiver out there, which was Dorsey.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen Dorsey just kind of running that out route and the ball be left behind him.
So 2nd down and 10 now, the ball right at the 10-yard line. You can actually say it's 2nd down and goal from the 10 because they dropped the flags or the yard markers. Here they go again here. Now this time he sets up in the pistol. Turn and gives it to White again. He'll slice inside, and he's brought down. He's driven back. Helmets fly off. Dragon will have to come out of the contest because the Dragon came out. Nice stop by the Blue Dragons. Looks like it might have been Spraggins in there to make the stop. So now it'll face 3rd down 11, loss of a yard on the play on that run by White. Darren, good defensive effort.
Yeah, the 2 things that have beaten him have been that pass interference from the last drive and then the long pass from Shelton Applewhite, his longest of the year.
All right, now they get set. Applewhite looks to the sidelines. Same thing with White. He'll be in the backfield. Steps up to the line to tell his guards a new play, and now they're set. Applewhite, probably a passing play. Yes, it will be. Has an open receiver. Catch is made. And a nice catch out there by Corey Reed Jr. from 11 yards out for the TD with 4:59 to go in this first quarter play. It's 14-6, so the Reivers are on the board.
Second touchdown of the year for Reed Jr.
So Applewhite throws it. Kicker's going to be number 37. It's going to be 38, actually. Contreras will be kicking. He's a lefty. Or actually, he was not. The other one kicker was a lefty. Here's Contreras' kick. It's up and on its way, and it is good. And your score, with 4:59 to go in the first quarter of play, is Hutchinson 14, Iowa Western 7. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the Iowa Western kickoff. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way.
Let's get a return.
The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson. Proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Nope, I had a biggie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Glenn along with Darren Dunn. A quick response to that touchdown that Hutchinson had. 6 plays, 75 yards, Darren. Pretty nice job.
Yeah, Iowa Western, you'll remember, bounced back pretty quickly. Last year it was 7-0 Blue Dragons, and then Iowa Western reeled off 31 points. So now you've got to keep this wave from happening, keep in the lead here at 14-7.
Reivers set to kick off. They'll toe the football, and let's see what happens here. Here comes the kick. A little kick. It's going to be very short, picked up at about the 12-yard line, and coming around the left side. Nice return by the Blue Dragons. Is kind of getting it back out there was Cleveland. Darius Cleveland on the return.
It's his second kick return of the year.
So a pretty nice return out right at the 31-yard line. So Hutchinson will have the football. 1st and 10 on the own 31 with their third possession of the game. 4:53 remaining to go in this first quarter of play. Mark Wright remains in quarterback. He'll split Tinsley on the left side. Back in there this time is Aaron Collins at that tailback slot. Wide receivers on the right side with twins. They'll send a man in motion. That'll be, again, Marshall, the tight end. Turn and give up the middle. And Collins, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Mark it at the 32-yard line.
Had that big reception to start the game. You thought maybe that would give him some momentum in the running game, but it's where he still struggles. Only 2.6 yards on the ground per carry this year.
Big Perion Winfrey, sophomore out of Maywood, Illinois, helping with the tackle at the bottom of the stack. Mark Wright, the quarterback. He'll send a man in motion. That's Collins, who go to the same play they did at the first of the game. Collins picks it up, and then he's knocked down, little or no gain. Maybe got a yard. I think to see where the spot's going to be, it's going to be at the 32. No gain, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 facing Hutchinson.
Never got that first level blocked on the outside. Jalen Roach just couldn't keep his block to give Collins a little more room.
Same play they ran earlier on, the first play of the game, which picked up some pretty good yardage. So Mark Wright will go with an empty backfield right now. He'll send twins out to the left and to the right. Tinsley on the far left side, one of his favorite receivers. Back to pass, steps into the pocket, nothing there, falls down. So kind of a coverage sack right there as Perron Winfrey tripped him up for the loss on the play right there. It'll be 4th down and they say 9 again. Ball on the 32, so 3:30 to go in this first quarter of play. 14-7, Hutchinson will punt for the first time today.
Winfrey showing you why he leads this team in tackles for loss and sacks.
All right, they're going to stack it up. Only have one lone receiver back deep, and it looks to me like that's going to be Zion Williams. Back, he'll set up at his own 28. Here comes the punts. Sebastian gets it away. Pretty nice kick. It's going to angle around on the left side. Take a Blue Dragon bounce out of bounds, and that's where they'll mark it. Looks like it's going to be pretty close to the 25-yard line. So the Reivers will set up with just under 3 minutes, 2:59 to go in the first quarter of play. They're down by 1 touchdown to the number 1 ranked team in the nation, the Blue Dragons of Hutchinson. So let's see where they officially mark this one at. Looks to be at the 28, Darren. So a pretty nice punt by Sebastian Garcia.
Now's the spot where you need your defense to step up. Did well on the first 2 drives, kind of gave up a lot of yardage on that last drive. Now you got to put the clamps back on.
They'll send trips out to the left side. Cam Thomas, is he back in there, or they're going to go with Applewhite? Can't tell right now. It's Applewhite. Retains in there. They give it quickly to the first up back. That's Brian Sneed, and little or no gain. They'll mark it. They'll give him a gain of 1 on the play, so 2nd down and 9. Stop was made by the Blue Dragons' LeVar Gardner. Now that Will linebacker spot. Here's Applewhite, back to pass. Lots of pressure, he's going to be sacked. Coming wide open, riding in there for the stop. Big time job by Spraggins on the blitz.
Spraggins had a little bit of help from Bankston on the other side as well.
Jareem was wide open. He's out of Odenton, Maryland, a freshman. And let me tell you, he just had a wide open slot path to the quarterback. Loss of 8 on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 17 for the Reivers. Big 3rd down play here. Applewhite threw for the touchdown on his last trip in there as the quarterback for the Reivers. Checks off on the play. Now he steps back and gets set again. He's got Sneed set up in the flat on the right side. Back to throw. Goes to the right side. Catch is made. And the ball is knocked out of bounds. It's going to be at the 37-yard line. So a nice sidestep over there for the catch. And the catch is made by, it looked like Richardson on the catch on the far side.
Yeah, he got a lot of separation from Justin Gardner when he pulled out of that route.
More than you would like to see, actually, as he was able to get on the outside. And it's going to be 4th and 1, so they were short by 1. So I heard somebody mention to watch the hard count. So Hutchinson will send their defensive unit. There's a flag on the play. Is it delay a game, or is there something being said? Let's see what the call is going to be. Illegal sideline warning for the Iowa Western sideline. So it will just be a warning. They'll get set, and 4th and 1 here. They will punt the football. Looks like they're going to punt anyway.
That's often the first question the referees ask. Hey, who's your get-back coach? Not present that time for the Reivers.
That would have been a good job for you, Darren. Be a get-back coach. You know that? Here comes the punt. Lots of pressure by the Blue Dragons. Fair catch called right at the 34-yard line, or they might mark it at the, yeah, they'll mark it at the 34. Tinsley took the fair catch. It'll mark it at the 34 with 1:16 to go in the quarter. 14-7 Hutchinson, if you just tuned in. Blue Dragons with two nice drives. Took it right down the field to get it done a nice way. The first drive, 9 plays, 53 yards. The second one, 6 plays, 75 yards. And Reivers answered a little while ago as well. So Hutchinson will send Mark Wright out at quarterback again. Running back on both sides. Holds the ball, kicks it outside, and cut out from underneath has his legs taken right out from underneath him. Is Tyon Evans. Stop was made out there by Wallace. Gain of 3, second down and 7. Inside of a minute now, 54 seconds left to go in this first quarter of play. It's been a good first quarter. Mark Wright, left to right as you watch and listen. Back to pass, gets the flat outside. He gets it into the hands and of one of his receivers up to about the 42-yard line, short of the first down. Nice catch on the outside out there. Trey Coleman coming out of the flat.
And Hobbs late finding him and identifying him as a running back out of the backfield. So nice safety valve that time for Wright when he had nothing to the left.
We talked about Coleman having a great game last week. 21 seconds to go, by the way, in this quarter. Clock moving along. Ball is 3rd down and 2 from the 42. So Hutchinson back to pass is Wright. Throws it. Should be good enough for the first down. They say incomplete to bounce. Looked to me like a pretty good pass over that far side. As catching the football, I thought, was Jalen Roach, but they say nope, it is 4th down.
Yeah, Roach was sliding away from it as he went down, and the official said it got a little bit of that turf in between his arms.
Roach got up and argued about the call, but to no avail. So Garcia will come back in to punt the ball away. Could be the last play of the quarter with 7 seconds to go in the quarter. And I'll get a new face in there right now. I think we'll get set. And it's a sneak and a take it forward. Pickup of yardage on the play, but did we have too many players on the field? What'd you see, Darren?
You know, the officials are going to get him for a false start.
I think that is what they're going to call. Coleman was on the carry. Stop was made out there by Brewer. Still remaining 4th and 2 is what they're showing. Let's see where they're going to mark it back, and now it's going to be 4th and farther than that. Hutchinson had the first down on the play, but they got him for illegal procedure. So this time Hutchinson faces a 4th and 7 with 4 seconds remaining to go in the quarter. Sebastian back out there again. Let's see if he kicks it this time. Oh, bad snap, but he got it down, got the kick away. Not a real effective kick. It takes a sideways bounce, and it'll be down by the Blue Dragons right at the 40-yard line, and that's the end of the quarter. Hutchinson leads at 14-7 at the end of 1. It will be Reivers football when we return. They'll have 1st and 10 from right out of their own 40. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
+1, it's buy one, get one free time at Nextech Wireless. Activate any device and receive an iPhone XR or Samsung Galaxy S10e for free. Swing by a Nextech Wireless store today. Make the switch, get a great phone, and get a second great phone free. Oh, don't forget you'll get high-speed unlimited data and the best coverage too. Besides, what's better than a new smartphone? Well, that would be getting a second one for free. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon Athletics.
Ball on the 41 for the Reivers, 1st and 10 as they stomp the Blue Dragons for first time today, actually. As Hutchinson had a couple of nice drives for touchdowns in that first quarter play. Movement should be illegal procedure, I believe, or what's the official call going to be, Darren? Did you spot something, or looked to me like they had movement on that left side? But there's not a flag on the play, so are they just holding up play? All right, they weren't totally off the field is what Steve Carpenter indicates. So 1st and 10 to call now from the 41, the Reiver 41. And back outside, it's Applewhite again, just about picked off, incomplete pass. The intended receiver out there was Perry, but Hutchinson just about had a pick, as going forward in a big way was the Blue Dragons defensive back.
Jacorian Bennett, that's the second time he's undercut a pass and almost had an interception. He's due.
Hutchinson with 20 plays to 130 yards in that first quarter play, 17 for the Reivers, 82 yards. Hutchinson is had a good passing game, only incomplete passes one. Carry forward, pick up, and give it this time to White. He's back in there, running back spot. They're going with Sheldon Applewhite Jr. right now. He's out of Newark, New Jersey. He's a freshman at quarterback.
He really gave a spark with that first 47-yard pass. And I think you've got to keep him in because he's the guy that's been moving the ball for your Reiver offense.
Reed split out wide on the right side for the Reivers. Again, Applewhite looks to the bench after the first sequence of calls. Now he steps up. They reset it after they took a look at that defense. A good defensive line for Hutchinson. Back to pass as Applewhite steps up. Going to air it out long. He's got a receiver. Incomplete pass as he went for Reed but missed him. Pretty nice coverage out there by the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, Williams out there with him step for step.
Ronald Williams out of Faraday, Louisiana. He is a sophomore. Has 7 tackles coming in this game, 2 picks and 2 breakups. Out of Faraday High School in Faraday, Louisiana. So 4th down and 7 now facing the Reivers, and they will punt the football away. Back in there to kick the football is Cody Lundquist. Back deep is Tinsley on the near side. On the far side for the Blue Dragons will be Colvin. Colvin backs up, takes it, fumbles the football, loose ball on the turf, and I think the Reivers have it. Interesting.
You know that old adage that you practice how you play how you practice. In practice in the pregame, we saw Colvin drop a couple of those punts that came his way, and it carries over into the contest.
You're exactly right, and that's what I was just going to say, is Colvin, during the warm-ups, had a couple pop off his shoulder pads. That one, same thing happened right there, and he kind of hesitated and didn't quite go for it. Now with 13:58 to go in quarter 2, the Reivers with a great opportunity to have the ball 1st and goal from the 4. So a big special teams mistake right there by the Blue Dragons. I was kind of surprised even that he didn't just let it bounce and take a chance on the touchback. Dragons show blitz, give right up the middle. Sneed, he busts his way into the end zone. They get the touchdown call, or is it going to be a yard short?
Down at the 1.
Yeah, down at the 1. So the Dragons D comes up big in the stop right there. Bankston on the stop. 2nd down and goal from the 1. The give on the outside. It's a race to the corner. Touchdown Reivers. And the Reivers are within a point of tying the game up. 14-13 with 13:32 to go in the second quarter of play. So the fumble has led to the touchdown from 1 yard out.
Yeah, put your defense in a really tough position with that muffed punt.
Evans had scored for Hutchinson back in the first quarter, and then Braham, that is, with a 39-yard pass. Corey Reed with 11-yard reception for the Reivers. The point after is blocked, and Hutchinson's going to still have the lead at 14-13. Did not see who got a hand in there, Darren. Did you have a good idea?
No, but that was the one thing you saw in pregame a little bit from Iowa Western. Kickers leaving the ball a little bit low over the top of the line, so not surprised that that one gets blocked here.
Good opportunity right there. Could have been Bankston, I'm not sure. So he was in that interior line as he jumped up and got a paw on it, and it remains at 14-13 with 13:32 to go in this second quarter of play. So they're getting set. We're going to keep it here As they're getting set to kick it off again. Special teams, that one to jump up and bite you, all you can do is work it back down. Maybe it was a little bit of crystal ball to see that they weren't going to get the kick made, so still the lead for Hutchinson by 1, but Hutch kind of needs to go back to the drawing boards and get it going again.
And you see mistakes from both special teams there, right? You get the muffed punt from the Blue Dragons from Colvin, and then Contreras misses his first extra point of the season.
So back deep for Hutchinson to receive will be Evans. Deep. The up returners on the far side will be Tinsley. And on our near side will be Bolus. Drake Bolus back in there. And they're set to kick the football away. So they'll toe the football. This time it's going to be Contreras to kick it off. Reivers left to right. Here comes the approach and the kick. High end over end kick. It's a deep one. Drives the Dragons all the way back. It's going to be out of the end of the end zone, and Hutchinson will have the touchback coming their way. So Hutch will set up shop with 13:32 to go in the second quarter of play, leading 14-13. So Hutchinson was surrounded by their defensive coach and also their head coach, Ryan Rhodes. They have their assignments, and Wright will go out now. I said defense, I meant offense. Mark Wright, the quarterback, back in there again. At running back will be Kendall Cross for Hutchinson. They'll split out a wide out on the right side with trips to the left. Tinsley in the middle of those trips. Far left side for Hutchinson will be number 81, Keelan Clary. Mark sends the man in motion. A little reverse, and they're going to slip it out. Thrown for a loss for the Blue Dragons was Jalen Roach. Could not get on track, Darren.
Tucker Cruz, second on this team when it comes for tackles for loss.
Lost 5. Looked like it maybe would have the opportunity to develop, but it closed quickly as Cruz jumped in there. 5-yard loss on the play. So second and 15 with 13:01 to go in this first half of play. We're in the second quarter. A little screen on the right side going to be caught. And little or no gain, about 3 on the play. It looked like a screen that just really didn't fully develop. Keon Clary with the catch. Carries it up to the 23.
Everything was blocked out to the right side. He brought it back toward the middle of the field where the tacklers were waiting.
So he kind of swung out, and that's where he made the catch. You're exactly right. So here, facing 3rd down and 12 now. Hutchinson, Mark Wright, long snap count. Gets the ball back to pass, has some room, steps up in the pack. He's going to run it across the 30 to the 35, goes into the slide. The hit was made, no call made. And Ryan Rhodes he was in his slide, and he wanted a call made and did not get it.
Yeah, it's tough. It all kind of happens simultaneously as Hobbs gets in there with the huge hit.
First down, however, as they move the chains, 1st and 10 to Hutchinson. There's a pretty hard hit put on Mark Wright. Ball will be at the 35 as he went into his slide and the stop was made. Gave it off quickly. Hutchinson with the run there by Cross and carries forward. Picks up a couple on the play, make it 3. So 2nd down and 7 by the time they mark the football. Ball on the 38. Just joined us, 14-7. Hutchinson with 2 scores early to take a 14-0 lead, but Reivers have answered with 2 scores, but they missed an extra point. Back to pass is Wright. Steps up again. This time he can't get away from him, and he's thrown for the loss. Wrapping him up in a big way was Keenan Stewart out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Flag comes in on this as well.
So a flag at the line of scrimmage. And see what they're going to mark it off. Steve Carpenter thinks it could be a hold. We'll see. They're looking to see where they're going to mark it off. Yep, chop block is going to be the call. It'll be against Hutchinson. They're going to wave it off, so it brings up a 2nd down and 8.
We'll move it into a 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11. 3rd and 11, excuse me.
3rd and double sticks.
So 3rd and 11 for Hutchinson. Sure passing down for Mark Wright. It's accurate was all get out in that first quarter of play. 10 out of 11. Back to passes. Wright steps up. Heaves it in. It's going to be picked off. The pick is made out there by Zion Williams. So, and there's a flag on the play, however, so it could be roughing the passer. Wright stepped up and got the throw, but it was to the wrong colored jersey. And indication, I think, is going to be roughing the passer. It's going to be against the Reivers.
What a big break.
Yeah, big break. Carries with it an automatic first down. So with 11:13 to go in the second quarter of play, Hutchinson with a break. Reivers got the break with the muff punt, was able to take it into the end zone for 1 yard out, but then missed the extra point. Right here, Hutchinson back at the 49, 1st and 10 for Hutchinson on their own 49. Mark Wright, turn to give off to Coleman. Coleman around the right side, has some room, 45, down to the 40, trying to turn the corner. He does, and rolls out of bounds on the far side at the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. 1st and 10 Hutchinson. 11:06 to go in the second quarter of play. They'll mark the ball on the 35.
Quite possibly the best run from a running back we've seen this year from the Blue Dragons.
11 minutes now remaining to go in this second quarter of play. Great job at turning the corner by Coleman. He's having a game again. Had a great night or day last week against Independence. 84 yards was the plus. There's the give off to Coleman again. He'll dance to the right across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. So 2nd down and 3.
Lindarius Strange just got enough of his ankles to prevent that from being a longer run.
I like the way Coleman runs. Runs with abandon. He just goes north and south also, Darren. Mark Wright holds up, fakes the pass, play action. Receiver falls down. There's the flag. So they're saying he was knocked down out of bounds, and they're going to whistle, I believe. It's going to be Brewer on the far side. Tinsley was the intended receiver, and he was totally knocked out of bounds. 2 flags on the play, so let's see what the talk is going to be about.
Yeah, 2 different things because you got one on the near side.
Stop his clock. Clock is stopped with 10:13 to go in this first half of play. Referee and line judge talking things over. Let's see what the indication is going to be. Pass interference goes against Iowa Western. Offsetting penalties. It'll go against the Blue Dragons. So they'll replay the down. So 2nd down and 3 now from the 28. So you get the do-over right here. And Hutchinson, they'll mark the football at the 28. We'll have 2nd down and 3 on the Iowa Western on the Reaver 28-yard line. So Mark Wright in a quarterback. He'll have Coleman dotting the I right behind him. Wideouts to have Tinsley on the right side, and a timeout's going to be taken. Blue Dragons want to talk things over. We'll take a break as well. 14-13, Hutchinson with a lead. 10-13 to go in the second quarter of play. Dragons with a 2nd down and 3rd on the 28-yard line when we return. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, General Manager at Midwest Superstores. We know when looking for a pre-owned vehicle, finding the exact vehicle can be tough. So we want to make it easy. We have over 500 pre-owned vehicles available in our huge inventory. How do we do it, you ask? Well, we have available in inventory from all of our other locations. And unlike the big chain stores, we do not charge to bring one in. So if we don't have it, we'll find it or we'll get it. So come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
10-13 to go in the second quarter of play. 2nd down and 3 for the Blue Dragons on the 28-yard line of Iowa Western. Timeout was taken. And Hutchinson breaks huddle, so does the Reivers. Let's see what the Dragons have drawn up after Hutchinson called the timeout.
You want to continue to see Mark Wright take what the defense gives him. That interception that comes off the board via that penalty. He tried to thread the needle in between a couple of defenders.
Goes on back to pass, rolls out of it, and throws on the run in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And Donaldson just went right in between his hands. So 4th down and 3. And is this 4-down territory right here or not? Let's check and see if they send Sebastian out or decide to go for it here. It is 3rd down. I was wrong. Excuse me. Thank you, Steve. So let's see what they go. That's right. We had the play over on downs, which tripped me up, and it doesn't take much to trip me up. 10:07 to go in this first half. 3rd down, a key 3rd down right here. That time they peeled out on the run to go into the left flat and in and out Donaldson. And to give off to Coleman. He's going to be close for the first down. Leans forward about to the 24-yard line. It's going to be very close. 1st and 10. Hutchinson moves the sticks.
You're finally starting to see a little bit of a running back presence. Up until this drive, Mark Wright was leading this team in rushing. He still might be a few yards ahead, but Trey Coleman very close behind.
Coleman, his last surge right there, carried it forward to right at the 25, so that's where the mark of movement. Free play for Hutchinson, back to pass his right. He knows it, he goes up for it. It's going to be picked off, and a flag in the corner as well, so there are going to be 2 flags on this. We know Hutchinson, there was movement on the left side of the defensive line, but were they drawn offsides? Let's check it.
Should have 2 penalties on Iowa Western here. The offside, which you'll decline because you'll take the bigger penalty, which is the DPI in the end zone.
Yeah, defensive pass interference Darren's referring to. It is right now with the ball on the 25 with 9:41 to go in the quarter 2. It's going to be against the defense. They'll decline that. You're exactly right. They'll take the pass interference. 15-yard penalty goes against Iowa Western.
Well,
that'll mark it at the 10.
He said 15. It should be half the distance.
Okay, half the distance is what they will indicate. Well, he keeps walking now. You're right. He'll mark it at the 14-yard line. So half the distance to the goal marks it at the 14.
It should be about the 12 and a half. They're at the 25, right?
Yeah, they were at the. Now they moved it to the 10.
They gave them a full 15, you guys.
They sure did. They did not go half on it. That's a good thing.
We're in Iowa.
Yeah, we are, and that's a good thing. Here's Mark Wright, and a whistle before the play. Yeah, they might have realized that and came in. Let's check and see what they're going to indicate. Flag back in the end zone, but that was the stop play, I believe. Talking things over with the umpire right now. He's sitting at the 8-yard line. They're chatting about maybe where to put the football. Exactly. There's no foul, just stoppage of play. Still haven't figured out where they're going to put the football with 9:41 to go. They're going to still keep it at the 10-yard line. So Hutcher gets set again. Mark right in there. Coleman is his running back. A wide out split to the right and left. Tinsley on the far left with twins. Gives it off to Coleman. He'll bounce it inside. Why not? He's gained the yards. He keeps piling it down and goes down to the 5.
Really seen the emergence of Coleman last game and now here on this drive.
9:26 to go. Clock moving away. 2nd down and 5 now because they did spot that to the 10. So 2nd and 5. Basically 2nd and goal from the 5. Coleman remains in there running back. Here's again Mark Wright. Keeps it, goes inside down to about the 4-yard line. Maybe his forward progress to see where they mark it. It'll bring up 3rd down and goal. They say little or no gain, so they'll mark it right at the 5-yard line. So Coleman comes out now. Tinsley will come in. They're going to go with an empty backfield. Let's see what the situation is going to be with 3rd down and 5. Sometime Wright gets the green light to run on this situation, but an empty backfield for Hutchinson. 3rd down and 5 at the 5-yard line for the Reivers. 8:27 to go in this first half, second quarter. Back to pass Wright. Tries to look for the outside now. He angles up, has the receiver come to him, throws it to the end zone, incomplete. It brings up 4th down. So he scrambled around on the right side, Darren, but wasn't able to pick up anything.
Yeah, there never really was enough room to take off for the corner. That was defended well, and his receivers were defended well in the end zone too.
So Hutchinson will probably go for the field goal as Garcia comes out They'll mark it. It'll stay at the 5, so spot will be at the 12. 22-yard field goal for Sebastian Garcia. 8:17 to go in the second quarter. Ball's going to be blocked, picked up by the Blue Dragons, and then kicked out of bounds. It'll go out of bounds at the 20, so blocked extra point.
Yeah, Williams able to get in there for Iowa Western.
And the Iowa Western crowd, a good crowd that they have on the far side. The ball will be awarded out to the 21. So the score will remain at 14-13. Williams was able to get in and get a hand on it with 8:10 to go. So Hutchinson denied. Blue Dragons special teams having a little trouble today. They gave up the muff punt and a quick 6 by Iowa Western, and then right there, the blocked 3-point conversion.
Every time a team in this game now gets a little bit of momentum, the other team takes a little bit of it back. Blue Dragons, nice drive, but Iowa Western takes back some of that momentum with the block.
Applewhite will remain in there, gives it off to White, spins across the 25 up to about the 26-yard line, and flags on the play, a whole bunch. There's flags all over the field out there. And one of the Blue Dragons says it is against the Reivers for a block in the back. So they're pointing to the Iowa Western way. Let's see if they walk it off or not with 8:01 to go in this quarter. This has been a long second quarter. We moved through the first one pretty quickly. Glenn Grunwald, Darren had done us. Also Steve Cropper, Sports Information Director at Hutchinson. Called personal foul, is that what they called, Darren? Dead ball foul?
Yeah, they get that against Kobe Rios. So the great thing about it being a dead ball foul is that the down counts.
Down counts, and they're going to march it off to the south, and they'll mark it at the 13. That will be half the distance. So second down to 17 for the Reivers. Back to pass. It's Applewhite. He'll step up. He has some room to run, and he'll slide right at the across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. So Applewhite up to about the 16.
Gets him back into the positive yardage rushing on the season. Came into the game with -1 on the ground.
3rd and 14 now, facing the Reivers. Big third down play here for Hutchinson. Applewhite. Hutchinson showing blitz. They check out of it. He's got White on his left hip back there offensively. Applewhite steps back into pistol. Moves White to his right side. Back to pass. Looks across. Has a receiver in and out of the hands. Intended receiver out there for Iowa Western was Reed, and he's been the intended receiver several times today.
This time Williams not able to jump in the path of the football, but able to jar that ball loose from Reed the moment it hits his hands.
Clock stop with 7:03 to go. Quarter number 2. Hutchinson with a 1-point lead of 14-13. And then we'll punt the football away. Last time we had a muff punt that led to a touchdown for Iowa Western. Iowa Central has extended her lead to 28-10 in the third quarter played out against Coffeyville. Here's the punt. It's going to be caught for the fair catch by Tinsley at about they'll officially mark it at about the 47-yard line. So Hutch will take over at the Iowa Western 47. So a pretty nice punt by Iowa Western, but a good job defensively, Darren, dumb the Blue Dragons to stop that drive right there and still have a 1-point lead at 14-13 with just under 7 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, you keep seeing the Blue Dragon defense inch closer to forcing a turnover. Just hasn't come up with one yet.
So Hutchinson defense out there, it's a good one. They'll set up offense out there, excuse me. Hutchinson defense is good, but offense has been solid today as well. Wright with 2 running backs in his backfield. He turns and goes on the outside to the right. Catch is made. Yardage picked up after the play up to about the 40. Well, they mark it at the 37-yard line. Catch was made by the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson's Jalen Roach on that far side. So Roach with positive yardage, 2nd down and 4. Picked up 6 after the catch.
Second reception of the year in blocking. Mitch Tinsley loses his helmet. He'll have to come out of play.
A split. The Blue Dragons out to the right side again. And this time it gives off to Coleman trying to turn the corner and still on his feet across the 25, the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. So nice pickup right there by Hutchinson. So he moves the chains and it'll be a 1st down.
Really had to bounce that play twice. He ran into a couple of different defenders where he would have had little to no gain and able to make that a big 1st down rush.
Keeps moving north and south. I like that. You hear that term a lot, but this is very true for Coleman. Throwing outside, a catch is made on the outer perimeter, and a flag on the play is catch is made over there by Hutchinson. It looks like Isaiah, was Aaron Collins on the catch?
Collins, yes, that same kind of swing out pass we've seen now 3 times in this one. Might have gotten Mitchell Tinsley.
Might have got it
for the hold out front.
Yep. Thought I was going to see that as well. It's where the hold usually is called from. So this one's going to come back, and Hutchinson will replay the down on 1st and would have been 10, and now it's going to be 1st and 20.
Seen the receivers have just a little bit of trouble kind of on that outside blocking today.
Ball will be at the 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the 44, 6:15 clock moving along here in the 2nd quarter. Hutchinson with a 14-13 lead. Number 1 team in the nation, the Blue Dragons of Hutchinson. Playing well today, with these, except for the special teams. They've had a couple errors, and one of them led to a touchdown. Back to pass, up the field, catch is made. Hutchinson should have the 1st down, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Nice catch by Tinsley on that far side. Stop was made by Iowa Western's Wallace. Hutchinson's thrown the ball well today, Darren.
Yeah, right. You mentioned earlier, got through the 1st quarter with only 1 incompletion and had already thrown for over 100 yards.
Back in the pistol. Turn gives straight up the middle to Collins. He's churning, trying to get down to the 20, and they'll stop, and they never did get him down. Now finally he goes down. He gains about enough for the 1st down, I believe. They'll move the chain, so a nifty pickup right there of about 10 yards.
One of the stronger runs we've seen from Aaron Collins this season.
Yeah, ball on the 23. They'll give him a 1st and 10. 5:30 remaining to go in the quarter. Right outside, Tinsley makes the catch, rips away from the receiver, goes for the defender, goes all the way, angles to the end zone. He's going to be out of bounds right at about the 1. They'll mark it at about the 2 with 5:21 to go. They'll stop clock, and he reached out for the pylon, but was short of it.
All starts because Zion Williams for the Reivers doesn't wrap up. Tinsley able to wriggle away and get the Blue Dragons in scoring position.
They'll mark it at the 3 officially, so 1st and goal from the 3. Like you say, Tinsley, I said receiver, but the defender, just his strength took him away from him. And they'll split out. I think Tinsley on the left side this time. Nope, it's going to be Donaldson on the left. Full house backfield for Hutchinson. Give off quickly to the Blue Dragons, and Cross takes it in from 3 yards out for the TD. So Hutch leads at 20-13. Full house backfield, and they gave it to Cross, and Kendall Cross, sophomore out of Brunswick, Georgia, with the rush right there for the TD.
Second rushing touchdown of the season.
So the point after kick here, let's see if they're able to get this one or not. The 3-point field goal was missed a little while ago. It's blocked. Here comes the hold. A little miscommunication there. It's going to be blocked again. And getting in there for Iowa Western was Winfrey. So the ball was a low snap, and that added to the woes. Right now it's Hutchinson 20 and Iowa Western 13 with 4:49 to go. We'll be back. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
The weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Glenn Grunwald, Darren Dunn, Steve Cropper helping out with the stats as well, and a nice 3-yard run for the touchdown by Kendall Cross, sophomore out of Brunswick, Georgia. Point after missed, 20-13. Actually, point after was blocked, so Hutchinson going to try to work things out on that special teams. Here comes the Hutchinson kickoff. Sebastian Garcia processes the ball, heads to the end zone. It's taken right at the goal line. Did he step out? Yes, he did. He came out with it. Going to angle Hutchinson with a great opportunity to make a stop here, and they hold him back. And there's a flags on the play. He got back to the 19, but he took one accidental step out and realized he had to come out.
Yeah, and then a huge mistake by Tanner Murphy on the crackback block. Might get hit with a targeting call here.
4:39 to go in the quarter number 2. 20-13 Hutchinson. Flags all over the field. It will be a 15-yard penalty. And it looks like it's going to go. Is it against the Blue Dragons? I believe it might be.
No, it's against the Reivers.
It's the Reivers.
For that illegal blindside block. That's one of those where they talk about the safety of the game, the things you've got to take out of the game. That's where someone could really get injured.
The one official was pointing to the north. That's why I was hesitant right there. And one of the referees, the umpire, said, no, it's going to go that way. So they'll mark it off. And let's see where they mark it, right at about the 9-yard line. Ball on the 9. So 1st and 10 from their own 9 for the Reivers. Hutchinson defensively can really give the offense some good field position if they hold the Reivers here. Give up the middle, the little or nothing there for the Reaver running game. Sneed, the ball carrier. And Blue Dragons defense comes up strong right there. Dennis Jackson on the stop, freshman, out of Fairburn, Georgia. I used to know all the towns in Georgia. I've never heard of Fairburn. So back to pass is Applewhite. He'll step out and be thrown for a loss. A sack play, several players in there. Off the bottom of the pile was number 32 for Hutchinson. Making a nice stop out there was Nico Cooper. And Blue Dragon is down. Can't get a number right now to check on him, but the training staff quickly out to attend to the Blue Dragon player who's prone on the field, and we'll take a quick 30-second timeout. With 4 minutes to go in the contest, second quarter of action, Hutchinson with a 7-point lead at 20-13, and have the Reivers will have the football. Hutch on defense. We'll be back right after this on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started, or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Darren, it looked like it was Jackson that was in the bottom of that pile. He's off okay, but he will have to come off and be checked out real quick.
Got to feel good about this rush defense so far for the Blue Dragons up against the team that has the fourth most rushing first downs in the country, and the Reivers have not gotten going yet.
Big blitz, ball back at the 5. 3rd down and 14 for the Reivers. Big play right here coming up. Applewhite, he came in, and so far he's remained in a quarterback. Back to pass, left side as a receiver. Out of bounds. Will have the first down, I believe, has enough yardage, now move the sticks. So big 3rd down play.
Yeah, Art Green kind of loses his man a little bit in coverage, which is surprising for the best defensive back in the nation. And then he ends up taking a false step on his path to the tackle, ends up getting some help from his teammate Todd.
Mark it at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 with 3:24 to go. in the second quarter. Back to pass. Applewhite steps up in the pocket, throws it up for grabs, but it falls aimlessly to the turf. And incomplete. 3:17. Clock stops on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, I really feel like that one was thrown away more than anything. It just happened to be that Brian Sneed took a run at it.
He stepped up in the pocket and then gave it a sling on the right side. And closest receiver out there was Sneed. Back to pass. Applewhite. In and out of the hands of the Blue Dragons, incomplete. Trying to come up with the pick out there for Hutchinson was CJ Ogbonna. Got a hand on it, knocked it away. Actually, that might have been Katron Allen. I stand corrected.
Did a good job of slowing the receiver and then jumping that route as the ball got there.
Got a couple number 7s. That one was the defensive number 7. Back to pass is Applewhite. Dumps it away. Incomplete pass. Over on that far side, Sneed kind of got tangled up with the Blue Dragon, but nothing called. Nice job out there again. Doing a good job was the breakup there by Allen again that time. I'm not sure it was going to be catchable to start with.
And I'll tell you, Coach Strohmeyer happened right in front of him. He's a little upset. He thought maybe the defender led with the helmet to break that pass up.
4th down and 10 right now. Ball on the 23. So Hutchinson should have pretty good field possession. Tinsley on the far side. Back on our near side again will be Colvin. And we're a little gun shy after the drop punt. Coleman will have another opportunity, and this time he catches it. Called a fair catch at the 38-yard line. So Hutchinson football at their own 38 with enough time with 2:59 to make something happen. Hutchinson leads by 7, 20-13. Really entertaining first half of play.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get yourself a 2.5-minute drive here to close out this first half of play and really give yourself some distance at halftime, especially after feeling a little bit poorly after that blocked extra point. Second one Garcia's had blocked this year.
Hey, not doing anything. Head to the arena right now. Number 1 Seward County taking on the Blue Dragons in volleyball action. Take your radio with you and catch the game here. Here's the hand off quickly to Collins, trying to get to the edge. He does. 40-35 out of bounds.
He's out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. Collins starting to get to the outside. He has the speed to get out there.
A great seal by Phillips to get him to the outside.
Pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4. Mark Wright, quarterback the whole afternoon so far for the Blue Dragons. 2nd down and 3, close to the first down. Handling in there was Collins, and it's going to be very close to move the sticks here. And they will say the line jump comes in and indicates let's move the sticks, and it's a 1st and 10 Hutchinson.
Got a very generous spot on that forward momentum.
Right at the 48.
15 first downs to 4 for Iowa Western.
15 first downs to 4 for Iowa Western, Steve Carpenter says. Back to pass, flag on the play. Here goes Wright. He'll throw it down. Catch is made at the 20 from Iowa Western, and they say incomplete, and he dropped it. Let's see what the flag is going to be about.
It's a great shot down the field with that offside by the Reivers. The Blue Dragons have done so well with those free plays. You remember what they were able to do against Ellsworth and almost made Iowa Western pay right there.
They really did.
Comes loose at the end from Mitchell Tinsley.
Yeah, they'll mark off 5, so it'll be come as 1st and 5 now inside of Reaver territory at the 47. So pretty close right there as Hutchinson had an intended receiver, could not make the catch on that far side. It was close. They get quick to Collins. Quick opener up the middle. He has the 1st down. He's clobbered at about the 44, but that'll be enough for the 1st down, I believe, as well. Nope, it will not be. It's going to be a little bit short, so 2nd down will be forthcoming. They'll mark it. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 44. Collins starting to run with a little bit of authority on the last couple carries. Movement on that defensive line, but not enough to encroach. Wright kind of going with a hard snap count right there. Now he'll regroup a little bit. Gets it, throws it on the outside. Jonathan, he has his legs taken out from underneath him, knocked back to the 45, so a loss of a yard on the play. Clock moving with 1:31 to go in the quarter.
Phillips had such a great block earlier in this drive. That time just whiffs on Zion Williams coming from the DB spot.
Hutchinson offensively will rotate out. Stevie Young coming back in will be DeMarcus Mills in place of him on that offensive front. So Wright moves this time Collins over to his left hip with 1:05 to go. Back to passes Collins. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it to the outside. Collins makes the catch out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Should be good enough for the first down. It'll move the sticks. Pickup of 4. He needed 3. Got 4. They'll mark it at the 41.
Collins came in with 2 receptions on the year for no yards. Today, his 2 catches have been big for the Blue Dragons.
58 seconds remaining to go in this second quarter of play. So clock starting to become a factor here as the Dragon drive continues to the 41 now of the Reivers. Back to pass, Wright. Steps up. He's going to be thrown for a loss. Sacked back to the 46-yard line. So they converged on him. Was able to get to him. Came in there was Perion Winfrey, sophomore out of Maywood, Illinois. He's had 3 sacks coming into this game. Just got another one right there.
Yeah, a couple of them already here against Mark Wright and the Blue Dragons.
33 ticks left on the go on the clock. Clock moving along after that was not a stoppage of the clock. Here's Wright trying to get outside. There's going to be a flag on the play. Let's see if it's a hold or not. Loss on the play of another yard and a half. So third down coming up. Boy, it'd be nice to get something out of this with 23 seconds remaining to go in the second quarter of play.
Yeah, you got a ways to move that ball, and this penalty may make it a little bit worse.
In soccer, Hutchinson on top right now. Took a 1-0 lead. Where's that being played at, Carp? Where's that being played at? Great Bend, so over Barton. They'll mark this one against the Blue Dragons. They'll walk it off. It'll be at the 44 of Hutchinson now. So second down and 25 with 21 ticks left on the clock. Second and 25, your call. Mark Wright gets the football, spins in his hand, steps up, has some room, wants to throw it. Catch is made, out of bounds. It stops Donaldson on the catch at the 48. So pickup of 4 brings up a third and 21 or 22. 4 seconds to go. So you just heave one here. You try to get something underneath.
You'd like to heave one. The problem is the last couple of times we've seen Wright drop back, he's not even getting to his last drop, that last step, before he has pressure on him from both sides. It's not just Winfrey. It's a couple of rushers from that Iowa Western defense.
It's going to be third down and 21 when we return. A timeout was taken with 4 seconds to go. Dragons will have the ball on their own 48. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
HCC Sports on Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members. Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coppin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Man Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
Welcome back. 4 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. Hutchinson facing a third down and 21. A little precipitation starting to come down here in Council Bluffs, but pretty light looking sky right now. This was sun shining when we started in 77 degrees. It has darkened up a little bit. We did say there was some precipitation north of Omaha, but see what right now still remains. It's 75 degrees and an 80% chance of light rain coming up, so we'll see what's going to happen. Right here, the Blue Dragons trying to make something happen. They'll go with an empty backfield. Trips on the right, Twins on the left. Back to pass is Mark Wright. Ball knocked down, and incomplete pass. And that will be your halftime as the clock expires. Your score at halftime, it's Hutchinson 20, the Reivers 13. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, get set for the Medicine Shop in-game capsule. Again, we're live from Council Bluffs, Iowa. 20-13, your score at halftime. Hutchinson on top. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
We just went into a lightning delay as well.
Did we? Crap. And will that be 30 minutes?
30 minutes from the last strike.
Hey, Glenn, are your bags okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Please turn your attention as time to get Iowa Western Department Athletics would like to recognize today's corporate sponsor of the game. No other
There you go. Boy, they doubled up the yardage.
Hey, how did they get their first downs, Carp? The 4 first downs?
One was by penalty. One rush. 2 pass, 1 penalty. Get out of here. Damn it. Came back in. You're not going to melt, but you might get electrocuted. Good shot there talking to the official. Oh. Who said that? Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Council Bluffs. I think we're under a lightning delay as it struck just when the halftime, the last play of scrimmage took place. So 2013 is your score. Hutchinson with the lead at halftime. It's time for the Medicine Shop in-game capsule brought to you by that Little White Castle at 14th and Main, the Medicine Shop in Hutchinson. 2013 your score. Hutchinson with a 7-point lead. Don't forget the Medicine Shop, CBD oil, as well as all the great over-the-counters. And don't forget also they do deliver. Matter of fact, driving down to the station this morning, I noticed 2 delivery vehicles for the Medicine Shop. So if you need to get any medicine, again, delivered, you certainly can get it done very easily with the Medicine Shop. Just give them a call. Darren, pretty good half of football, and now we got a pretty good rain delay coming right now as things are coming down here pretty abruptly at in Iowa Westerns at Central High School's field, and it's coming down pretty hard right now. Let's go ahead.
Yep, going to be in that delay probably for a little bit. The Blue Dragons did great against the run. This is a team that came in with the 4th most rushing first downs in the country, had 26 of them, and gained 55% of their first downs via the run. But the Blue Dragons have really held Zaquandre White in check. Last year, this kid was a linebacker at Florida State University. He said, hey, I want to be a running back. Comes here to Iowa Western. He's averaging 134 yards a game, runs for just 26 in that first half of action. The Blue Dragons hold the Reivers to 18 yards on 16 carries, so just over 1.1 yards a carry right now for the Reivers, who really rely on that run game. It wasn't until Applewhite came in at quarterback that the passing game got going for Iowa Western. 94 yards through the air right now for the Reivers. They have only 4 first downs, 1 from penalty, 1 from running the ball, and 2 from throwing it through the air. Blue Dragons 17 first downs in that first half of action, 98 yards on the ground. Of course, they are led by Trey Coleman. That wasn't the case early on in the game. Once again, it was being led by Wright out of that quarterback spot. So good to see Trey Coleman get going, 36 yards in that first half. Aaron Collins had 22 as well. Mark Wright finishes that first half with 18 yards on the ground. Through the air, he found Mitchell Tinsley 4 times for 47 yards. Aaron Collins, we've seen him more productive in the passing game with that swing out play where he's gotten 16 yards through the air. Mark Wright only had 1 incompletion in that first quarter of play. Tacks on a couple of more in that second quarter. He's 18 for 22 at the half with 147 yards. Has that 1 touchdown pass. Blue Dragons really opened up things quickly, getting out to that 14-0 lead. Iowa Western able to get on the board, and then Iowa Western, of course, has that block extra point, which you thought, okay, well, when they're trying to tie it up at 14-14, that might become a big difference in this game. Blue Dragons follow that up with the second block extra point of the year from Sebastian Garcia. The Reivers just 2 of 8 on third down coming to this game, 47% on third down, so well below the production value there for the Reivers. Saquandre White, again, having trouble getting going. Shelton Applewhite really has been the spark for the Reivers, 92 yards through the air, has that touchdown and a long of 47. Guys, he came into this game just 1 for 3 throwing on the season.
Quick update on scores. Iowa Central on top at Coffeyville, 38-17, and now the rain is starting to subside a little bit here. So we had a lightning strike that will delay it for 30 minutes, so we'll keep an idea of what's going on there as the officials were out talking about it. So that's one score, 38-17, Iowa Central on top at Coffeyville. Here's 20-13. That is your Medicine Shop in-game capsule brought to you by the Little White Castle at 14th and Main in Hutchinson. They deliver. They'll transfer your pharmaceuticals if you wish them to do so. Just give them a call. They'll also help with the Part D coverage. Is that time of the year coming up here before too long that you have to decide if there's any changes in your Medicare Part D, and they can help you out and tell you exactly what's the best deal in Kansas. The Medicine Shop, 14th and Main in Hutchinson. We will take another 2-minute timeout, come back and talk with Steve Carpenter as we're monitoring a couple of different sporting events that are taking place back in Hutchinson and that Great Bend that involve the Blue Dragons sports teams. So we'll be back with more. Again, your score at halftime, 2013, Hutchinson with a 7-point lead. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Blue Dragons Sports Network.
On Radio is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Mega Manufacturing, Sporting Chiropractic Center, Papa John's Pizza, A&A Builders, Barclay Plumbing Company, Sutton Coffin Transmission Service, Lowen Corporation, Old Office Shares, Dr. Eric Severud with Alliance Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Todd and Cindy Miller of Homestead Senior Care, Mann Wyatt and Rice Injury Lawyers, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, and the Green Vision Group of Hutchinson.
This is Carter File, President of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon Athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All-Sports Ticket for just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students. You can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the Sports Arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Are you ready for a new smartphone, but you need a plus one? It's buy one, get one free time at NextTech Wireless. Activate any device and receive an iPhone XR or Samsung Galaxy S10e for free. Swing by a NextTech Wireless store today. Make the switch, get a great phone, and get a second great phone free. Oh, don't forget you'll get high-speed unlimited data and the best coverage too. Besides, what's better than a new smartphone? Well, that would be getting a second one for free. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Well, we're at halftime, 20-13. Hutchinson with the lead. We think we're in a lightning delay right now as it happened right as the clock went to double zeros and some rain and precipitation moved through the Council Bluffs areas. Looks pretty clear behind there, but right now seems to be on top of us. Joining me, Sports Information Director, Hutchinson Community College, Steve Carpenter. And Carpenter, you got about 3 things going on right now. Number one, Blue Dragons football right here. Jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Now lead it by 7. Still in pretty good shape, but had a couple of special teams situations kind of happen with the blocked field goal as well as the blocked extra point, and then also the muff punt has given. Right now we should be up by 2 touchdowns, but we're not. But we're ahead by 1. So good opportunity right here. Hutchinson's played well today.
Yeah, good teams battle adversity. And this is about as diverse as you can get coming to Iowa Western, one of the top programs in the nation. But the special teams right now really kind of hampering the Blue Dragons. They could be up minimum of 2 scores had they just taken care of the football. So But I love the game plan Ryan Rhodes and the staff came out with. It was quick tempoed. That's really the quickest tempo we've seen them play in the first 3 games. Went right down the field, scored. Mark Wright holding his composure. Iowa Western is good enough. They're just going to make some plays. The Dragons can be executing at a high level. Iowa Western is just that good where they're going to make some plays. Dragons just have to take care of their business, and I think if that's the case, they can get out of here with a win.
I like the fact that Mark Wright is not the leading rusher for the Blue Dragons at halftime. He's the second leading rusher with Trey Coleman getting 5 carries, 36 yards. I like the way Coleman's running the football right now.
Trey's running hard. He's keeping those legs pumping. There was one run where he moved the pile about 3 yards for a first down. But Aaron Collins seems to be finally hitting his stride. He had a couple of nice runs getting out in some space and be able to make some moves and getting some positive yards. They're going to need that running game to really grind down on Iowa Western. You have the running game, you can grind down on a defense. More times than not, you're going to come out a victor.
Taking a look and see exactly what's going on here. This is a situation where you need to be cloned and have about 3 of you. Things happening down in Barton, that would not be your responsibility. That's soccer down there, but soccer's playing the Cougars down in Great Bend. And was last we knew they were leading 1-0, still continues to be that. And you turn around and also volleyball's in action today against the #1 team in the nation, the Seward Saints.
Yeah, this is busy Saturday, but I live for this. Yeah, right now Hutch soccer leading 1-0 with about 15.5 minutes to go in the first half. They're about to get a corner kick. I've got that video on. I've got the volleyball video on from the sports arena. And then, if you're wondering and you're watching the video and your screen's black, don't worry. We've got a bag over the camera
because it was raining. Exactly, it's raining in Council Bluffs.
Nothing's wrong with your computer. Nothing's wrong up here, other tthan Mother Nature is trying to be a pain.
We're going to see if they actually do tack on that extra 10 minutes for halftime or not, because of the lightning delay, and we'll see where it's moving on from here. But also, the other part of this is, so far you're in a good mood because at 2:30 we had a kickoff between Nebraska and Colorado. So. Many times we travel up here as football Saturday for the Cornhuskers, and we kind of live and die. I remember one time we just about tore up a van on the way home when you were so upset with the Miami game.
Yeah,
at one time.
The Miami game. Miami just brings the worst out. That's my granddaughter.
I got to know, and because I'm married to one, she's Nebraskan, and the whole family's from Nebraska. I don't think I've ever met anybody from a state that stays so loyal to the teams, because one of the reasons Nebraska is the main university in Nebraska. Is that the reason, or just what is it?
There's no professional sports teams within its borders. There's some minor league teams. Obviously, the Royals have a AAA team in Omaha. There's a Junior A hockey league with 3 teams in the state in Omaha, Lincoln, and Kearney. But other than that, University of Nebraska is it. The network that reaches out to outstate. You can go all the way out to Chadron. That's 9 hours away from Lincoln, and you're going to find diehard fans, because the radio network and everything has always kept that state tied together with Husker football. And now you got Husker volleyball. They're a contender every year. Baseball is getting better. Fred Hoiberg has the state really talking about basketball now. The mayor of Ames is in Lincoln now, and it's exciting times here in the University of Nebraska, and their fans are very, very loyal. And I was born into it. My very first vivid memory of Nebraska football was Johnny Rodgers taking the punt back in the game of the century in 1971 on Thanksgiving Day. And if you don't get excited about that, you're not excited about it.
Of course, they also were national champions, I think, 95 or 96? 96?
94, 95, 97, to go with 70 and 71.
See, and that's when I was married into it. So that's where I get it from. And now, of course, let's talk about very quickly your daughter as well, Stephanie, working for, again, now you mentioned the minor league team that's over in Lincoln. So she is now front office staff for the minor league hockey. So she's kind of following Dad's footsteps a little bit.
The family business is in very good hands right now. Stephanie was a photographer at the University of Nebraska, working in their sports information department for 4 years. Then she took over as manager at Cheddar's Restaurant, and is kind of staying her business with her major and everything. She applied for a job with the Lincoln Stars hockey team. They liked her so much they put her into a front office position. She didn't even get the job
that she was going after. Okay,
they gave her a front office position. So, Pop's pretty proud of that.
No doubt about that. So that's exciting. And she met with you guys yesterday, brought Arunza which people don't know. That's basically the Nebraska version of a Bierock.
Yep.
But they brought a Runza. Of course, there's Runzas all over the place. They are very, very good. So she brought you that, and Stephanie's doing well. I'm really proud of her. I was trying to get a little story on her. I'm still going to some way or another, maybe through you. But
just keep pecking away.
Keep pecking away, but she's doing a good job. We're in halftime, 20-13. Hutchinson, number 1 team in the nation, on top of the Reivers, number 7 team in the 7th-ranked team in the nation, leading it by 7 points at intermission right now. And again, we had some lightning right as we broke for halftime, and I believe that's going to be a 30-minute delay that they might tack on another 10 minutes. They still have the clock showing 7 minutes left to go in the half, so we'll see what's going to happen. But everybody is off. They're off the bleachers. They cleared everybody out.
I'm going to guess it's within the 10-mile circumference of the stadium. We didn't see it, but lightning detectors probably picked it up within a 10-mile area or 10-mile circumference of this complex. And when that happens, you immediately go into a lightning delay, and you do not begin again until 30 minutes after the last lightning strike.
So we'll see. We could be here for a little bit, so we'll keep it here for right now. Let's take a look and talk a little bit about volleyball. Patrick Hall's team going up against the number 1 team in the nation. Looks like they dropped the first set and are in the second set right now. But Seward's solid. I caught Patrick in the parking lot, and he told me how big their middle blocker was. And not only was she big, but she's also is pretty quick as well. So talk a little bit about Blue Dragons volleyball.
They lost the first set 25-19. They're down now 9-2 in the second set. Seward's very good. They had about half their team back. The key piece they've got back is their setter, Laura Dupre, a tremendous setter. She's a Brazilian native, and she's averaging almost 14 assists per set, which is unheard of. That's just how good they are. They've got a freshman Dominican from the outside who can really pound the ball. She's already 6 feet, and she can jump out of the gym, so she can hit over any block there is. So Seward's very good. Hutch's block is it's okay against average-sized teams, but you get a real tall team, they can jump. They're going to struggle against that. But Patrick Hall right now knows there's going to be some ups and downs with this team. Only 3 sophomores returning, and he knows that the record right now is not going to be indicative of what they're going to be in the later stages of October, which is we all know that's where you want to peak.
Let's talk about golf for a second. Chris Young with another good team, and they continue to always be in the top of the standings within the conference as well as within the region and within the nation. Let's talk about golf.
They open up this weekend down in Lubbock at the Palmer Invitational at the Rawls course in Lubbock. Charlie Crockett actually made some big news this morning. Charlie Crockett's a sophomore coming back. He's the defending conference, district, and region champion, and he is committed already. He committed this morning to Wichita State University, which is a great sign for them. Charlie is the Mickelson Award winner for the top freshman of the year in his last year, and he was a finalist for the Nicholas Award, which was the top player of the year. So he was he's one of the 3 of the finalists for that. He had just an exceptional year, won 5 tournaments, and Blue Dragon golf team really set up. Chris Young now in his 20th year. He's the dean of Blue Dragon coaches, but he's put together a really strong team this year. And like I said, they get going. They will not have their conference tournaments until second semester, but they'll play 5 tournaments here in the fall.
Brought down by Ben Sorensen. Go for a first down. Pass to number 81, Keelan Clary, first down. Blue Dragons. Ball carrier, get up for first down for the Blue Dragons. Trey Coleman, the ball carrier. Brought down by Tucker Cruz.
goal from the 2. Coleman back underneath, taking the lean inside by the Blue Dragons, and touchdown from 2 yards out, Mark Wright. 4:39 to go in this third period of play, and flags on the field, so let's check and see if that's going to be after the touchdown was scored.
I think so. It looked like a scuffle between Connor Lears and someone from the Reivers side. Lears jumped up afterward as if to say that,
he might have said,
how can it be on me?
Either that or he said something about his mother because he got up to defend. They're going to be offsetting fouls, so will he play it over again? Let's check and see where the touchdown should stand. Let's check it. Right now the scoreboard shows 33-20.
Yeah, it happened after the play, so the touchdown stands. That's the good news. And the better news is that you had one from each team, so they offset.
They offset 33-20. Hutchinson with the lead with 4:39. So a 2-yard run by Mark Wright puts 6 on the board for Hutchinson. Need to say hi to Terry and Judy Mann, who I think are someplace in Montana. They're watching on the stream and let me know that the audio had ran out and it was as simple as a battery. So now here's Hutchinson's point after. Seabass gets the kick up and on its way, and it is good. And Hutchinson takes a 34-20 lead, a 2-touchdown lead again with 4:39 to go in the third period of play. It will be the Hutchinson Blue Dragons kicking on with return. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network. We'll be right back.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports Ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Blue Dragons get set to kick off, leading at 34-20 with 4:39 to go in this third period of play. We had a lightning delay that delayed us about 45 minutes, maybe at halftime, and Hutchinson has scored twice now to take a 34-20 lead. Reivers have scored once. And Hutchinson will kick off here. A good drive by Hutchinson. Here's the kickoff after the touchdown. It's going to be taken right at the goal by White. He'll bring it up across the 20 to the 25 to the 30 and fumble on the play, but it's jumped on by, the Reivers. So they'll mark it officially, I think, at the 34. That last play was an 8-play, 56-yard drive for the TD for Hutchinson. So good field position, though, for the Reivers. Let's see where they officially mark the football. I think they're going to put it down at the 30.
White almost broke one. Give credit to Chuagbana for stopping that one before it really got started.
All right, Chuagbana with the stop, 4:32. This drive will start on the 30-yard line for Iowa Western. Applewhite still in at quarterback. He came in relief of Cam Thomas. Back to pass. He's on the run. There he just throws it away. Interception made. I think they're going to allow it. Nope, they're saying out of bounds. Great job over there by Hutchinson. Some way, somehow, going up was Gardner trying to make the interception, and they say he was too far out of bounds.
And now he's a little bit slow getting up on that Reivers sideline.
Well, he laid out over there right at the 38-yard line. Incomplete pass, and Applewhite was running for his life, and he is getting instructions from White right now. They're wiping the visor of Applewhite. He might be having some trouble with a little moisture out there after the rain that took place.
Well, that's one of those. You tell your quarterback to just throw it into the first 2 or 3 rows of the stands. Instead, he gives the Blue Dragons an opportunity that almost went the other way.
Second down and 10. Blue Dragons leading it 34-20. Second down and 10 from the 30. When we regroup here, and coming up with his helmet off is going to be, as I indicated, number 6 out there, Justin Gardner. So Gardner will work his way over here, and he's doing a good job in defense out there today.
He jogs off the field. That's a good sign. Not seeing a limp. Maybe he just tweaked something on the way down.
Possibly, and he works his way to the sideline. I think he's going to be okay. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 10 now for the Reivers. Back to pass, Applewhite gets pressure, gets it away. Chance for a pick here. Ball falls short. A lot of contact, but nothing called. Reiver fans wanted the penalty, but didn't get it.
You'll get one in the backfield, though, as I believe they'll get the Blue Dragons for roughing the passer.
All right, now we're getting set. Told that we have better audio than we had in the first half now, so good battery. There's a flag laying back at the 20-yard line, so we're sorting that out right now. 4:19 to go in the third period. 34-20, Hutchinson with the lead. Blue Dragons led at halftime 20-13. Got a opening third quarter 95-yard punt return by Tyon Evans, whose second touchdown he scored on the day. And then Hutchinson just now tacked on another touchdown by Mark Wright from 2 yards out. Here's Applewhite for the Reivers, back to throw, has better coverage and still incomplete. Falls incomplete at the 45. Will bring up a 4th down and 10 call. So Hutchinson's defense there is starting to pin back its ears a little bit and come after him a little bit.
Got a little help from Iowa Western on that one because Reed Jr. and Applewhite Jr. not on the same page. Applewhite was looking to throw the deep ball, kind of that post look. Corey Reed turned it around for the button hook.
All right, the punter Lindquist comes back in. He's out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I think they know how to play some football up there, Green Bay, and he's going to kick the football away here. Here comes there's a flag on the play, no stoppage of play. So they'll come in and check. I'm laughing because Carp's spotter just talked about go Lions, and I agree with him. All right. They're going to march it back against the Reivers, so that'll bring up a 4th and 15 from the 25. So Hutchinson an opportunity here to get a good field position or maybe a punt return. Lindquist gets set to punt away. He kicks it sideways as well. This one will bounce at the 45 to get away from it. It takes a heck of an Iowa Western bounce all the way inside the 20 to the 15 to the 14 to the 13.5-yard line. That's what you get sometimes on those sidewinders. You get a lot of roll, and that took it all the way back. So Hutchinson, instead of having it at the 45, will have it at about the 16. But that hasn't stopped the Dragons today. 3:58 to go in the third. They've been able to move the football very effectively today. So Hutch will get set. Blue Dragons again leading at 34-20. Mark Wright, the quarterback. Turn and give to the running back. Has some room around the outside. That's Evans. Still loose across the 20. Tight ropes it down the side. Finally pushed out of bounds. They'll mark it officially right at Holman as well as Collins. Now Mark Wright looks to the bench again. He's got a wideout split out on the right side in the person of Braham. Throws it to Braham. He'll catch it at the 25 and goes forward short of the first down. But pretty good pickup right there. 2nd down and 10. Check that. We'll check the actual yardage. They'll move the sticks. 2nd down and looks to be about 6 on the play. So Mark Wright directs traffic, gets set, marks out the signals. Now he holds up, checks to the bench. He has Evans right behind him. Braham out to the right side, split up Tinsley in the slot on the left side. The give to Evans. Evans spins away and up to about the 26-yard line. So loss on the play of about a yard should bring up a 3rd down and 5. Or check that more than that. 3rd down and about 7 maybe. 2:47 clock moving away here in the third period. Hutchinson getting a little conservative, running primarily the football right here and taking some time off that clock.
Yeah, remember had the ball for 7 more minutes than the Reivers in that first half.
3rd down and 7. Hutchinson with the football on their own 26-yard line. Passing situation. Mark Wright back to pass. Steps up, gets a safety in the flat, gets it out to Evans, sidesteps 2 players, sidesteps another one, trying to make something happen at the 30. He's going to be just short of the first down. He had to get to about the 31, and he's short on the play right at the 30, so 4th down. He just about picked it up.
Yeah, just too many players on that defense in good position to tackle him that he just couldn't get by all of them.
Evans showing him some elusiveness. He'll kind of check out of the contest, 4th down and 3. So it looked like one more move needed to be made to get it done there. They'll mark it right at the 30. Again, that great punt by Lindquist that nailed Hutchinson back on their own 16, or actually 14-yard line. So they got to kick it away. The booth next door saying there's 12 on the field, so Hutchinson might get a break here. It's 4th and 3. If there's 12 on the field, it could be an automatic first down.
Dragons upset, too, at the tail end of that as the whistle was blown. Sebastian Garcia got blown up, but I think the white hat is telling Ryan Rhodes that he should have stopped with the whistle as well. Not much I can do about that when both players continue to play.
It will be a first down for Hutchinson. So too many men on the field for the Reivers will move the football, and Hutchinson will have it 1st and 10 on the 30.
That's just a mental mistake you don't expect to see from the number 7 team in the nation.
So they'll move the sticks, 1st and 10, 1:35 to go in the 3rd period of play. Got one more full quarter coming your way. Hutchinson keeping this drive alive, and they started off conservative, Darren. A little bit of a concern to me, but then they aired it out when they needed to, and you can tell right now they're going into kind of a use some time mode.
Yeah, I think that's okay. You know, you might as well, if you're going to score, take some time off doing it. What we've seen from this team is they've responded so well. You remember last week when Independence made things close again, the offense responded with 2 70-plus yard drives. They respond here today with that 50-plus yard drive.
Due to the lightning delay, we getting close to 4 o'clock. Back to passes. Righty has a receiver. Donaldson catched in and out of his hands at the 30. Incomplete pass. Donaldson had position as he went up. Ball simply slipped right through his arms. Incomplete. It was there.
Yeah, and unfortunately maybe a little bit underthrown by Mark Wright that time.
But he made the adjustment in midair and had an opportunity to get to it and just slipped right in between his arms. Could be from the moisture as well. 1:06 to go. Now Hutchinson will be facing a 2nd down and 10. We're in the 3rd period of play. Hutch up by 2 touchdowns. They give up the middle. Nice spin by the Hutch Blue Dragons cross, and he's back in there. And he'll get the first down. They'll move the chains. Nice pickup by Cross. 1 minute to play here in the 3rd. The stoppage of clock as they move the chains. Now they'll crank it. 34-20. Hutchinson up by 2 touchdowns. Taking some time. Football at the 48 of Hutchinson. They'll send Cross in motion. Back to pass is Wright. And he'll get the ball away. Ball's knocked away. Incomplete pass. That ball was up for grabs right at the 40-yard line. Wright was hit hard. And just as he got rid of the football.
Yeah, so just as you think, the Blue Dragons maybe getting a little bit conservative, they start to take a couple of shots down the field. So that's one of those things where they kind of try to lull the defense to sleep and take a shot. But the Iowa Western Reivers on top of both of those plays.
Maybe be able to open up the running game a little bit with those passes. 36 seconds left to go in the 3rd. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass. Here they'll give it off this time. Here's Cross. Fresh legs in there and carries across the 50 into Reaver territory. They'll mark it at the 48. So a nice pickup of 4 yards. Will bring up 3rd down and about 7 or 6. 3rd and 6 to go at the 48-yard line. 19 seconds, 17 seconds, clock moving away. Hutchinson might be content to let the 3rd quarter go away as it's down to 9-8-7. He looks to the bench. 17 on the shot clock, and that's game clock, and that's exactly what they're going to do. We're going to go to the 4th quarter of play. Hutchinson with a 2-touchdown lead, 34-20. They have possession of the ball, 3rd and 6 on the 48 of the Reivers. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this as we head to the 4th quarter in the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Are you ready for a new smartphone, but you need a plus one? It's buy one, get one free time at NextTech Wireless. Activate any device and receive an iPhone XR or Samsung Galaxy S10e for free. Swing by a NextTech Wireless store today. Make the switch, get a great phone, and get a second great phone free. Oh, don't forget you'll get high-speed unlimited data and the best coverage, too. Besides, what's better than a new smartphone? Well, that would be getting a second one for free. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
All right, welcome back. 34-20, Hutchinson with the lead as we start this fourth quarter of play. They had the football on the Reaver 48. Key down here, 3rd down and 6. So we're about set to get underway for this fourth and final period. Hutchinson with a 2-touchdown lead. They'll send trips to the left side. Mark Wright, the quarterback, still in there. It looks to be Cross, the running back. He'll fake it to Cross. He'll go play action. Ball on his way. Incomplete pass intended for number 83. That's Cortez Braham. And he slaps his hands. He knows maybe he should have had that pass, Darren.
Yeah, he also tried to catch that in between a couple of defenders, which is where Mark Wright threw it. And unfortunately for those Reivers players, they kind of ran into each other head to head.
Reivers will have to come over. They have a player hurt right on the sideline. By the way, the time of possession now ends up being 29-16 after 3 quarters. Hutchinson with the edge there. Hutchinson also with 344 total yards on 68 plays, 46 plays, 196 yards for Iowa Western. Rushing yardage, 156 yards on 35 carries. So they're still attending to the player. We're going to take a quick timeout with 14:54 to go in the fourth period of play. That's 34, Reivers of Iowa Western 20. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Radio Network. We will keep it here as injury timeout, and they will adjust right now to check and see if he's going to be okay. And they're still there. He finally gets up, and number 5 was the injured player, and Zion Williams, who's had a good ball game, Darren, been in a lot of plays.
Yeah, he's been about the second leading tackler on this team, which you hate to have a cornerback as one of your leading tacklers, but he's also broken up a couple of passes, and that time it was friendly fire. He runs into a teammate, and they kind of collide in the head and neck area.
It's 4th and 6, so Hutchinson will punt the football away. And Sebastian Garcia will set up. He'll be at his own 37-yard line. The ball's at the 48. As we get set. Back deep is going to be Jason Murray. Here comes the punt from Garcia. He'll put it up in the air. They're going to try to pin him back. Hits at about the 10 and out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Pretty nice punt by Sebastian Garcia. Good job for the Blue Dragons getting down there in coverage. I think it was Katron Allen down there defensively. Might have been Brown as well. Both wear number 7. So anyway. So they'll mark it at the 9 officially, 1st and 10. So that's where the first touch took place. So the Reivers will have the football at their own 9-yard line, 91 yards away from pay dirt with 14:46 to go. So they'll set up offensively. Now, the last time they had the ball, Hutchinson really came with the pass rush. So, Darren, we're going to see what's going to happen here. Give off quickly to White, and he's going to carry forward across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Nice stop out there by the Blue Dragons as Will Gardner comes up out of his Will linebacker spot. LeVar Gardner comes up out of that Will linebacker spot to make the stop.
Except for that big 50-yard run, the Blue Dragons have really kept White in check, the transfer from Florida State.
Here's Applewhite, the quarterback, out of the pistol. Waist-high snap. Goes across and incomplete. Oh, they're going to give that catch. Yes, they are going to give the catch to number 11. They'll mark it right at the 36-yard line. Coach Rhodes really upset with the call right there, as making the catch was Zion Perry. So they'll set up right now with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 at the 37. Back to pass as Applewhite has time. Gets it across, just about picked. Incomplete pass intended for White.
Dangerous throw, left it high over the middle.
So 2nd and 10 to call now. Stops the clock with 13:56 to go in the game. Hutchinson still leading at 34-20. If you just tuned in, Hutch jumped out 14-0 and saw the Reivers come back and score to make it 14-7 on an 11-yard pass from Applewhite to Corey Reed. And 14-13, and the point after was not good. Hutchinson had a 20-13 lead, a 27-13, now 34-20. Ball knocked away, and see what the call is going to be here. 3rd down and 10.
Batted down by Kamari Gaines.
Yeah, Gaines comes in and puts a big paw on it. So the ball again at the 37, 3rd down and 10 facing the Reivers. And, you know, you're looking at just under 14 to go. Hutchinson could probably get the ball back, take off 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, as they've got conservative here in the 3rd and now into the 4th quarter. Reivers are quick scorers, though. Haven't had the ball much today by way of a back to passes Applewhite, and throws it. Receiver open, but incomplete. Good coverage out there by the Blue Dragons, as Justin Gardner defensively out there on the breakup.
Applewhite once again leaving that ball well short of his receiver.
4th down with 13:56 to go. 4th down and 10 for the Reivers. Hutchinson will send again Tinsley along with Colvin back. Colvin on our near side. Tinsley on the far side. Both of them sit up at the 26-yard line. 4th down and 10. 13:46 to go in the 4th period. Lindquist gets the ball. He'll sidestep and kick it again. It'll hit at the 40 for the Blue Dragons. Takes a Reaver roll all the way down again inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. He's had success with that today. Last 2 kicks have really taken that end over end. Hutchinson stays away, and that's the right thing to do. But still, it sets up a pretty good defensive situation for the Reivers. But they're down by 2 touchdowns. Let's see what Hutch does here. This drive will start with 13:33 to go in the 4th period of play. Glenn Grunwald, Darren Dunn, along with Steve Carpenter. Hutchinson football for the Blue Dragons on Country 102.9 KHUT at Hutchinson, as well as KWBW 1450 AM and 98.5 FM in Hutchinson. Darren, will they stay conservative? Got a couple of running backs on each side of the right in the backfield.
Yeah, I think you at least start off getting the clock running again with the run play here.
The turn, a give again. This time, new running back there, and picks up a couple guards. Coleman back in there at the running back position, and loss on the play. Check that. Yep, loss of about a yard and a half. We're going to see 2nd and 12.
Yeah, there's nothing going on that side. Devin Drew leading the way, one of the leading tacklers on this team.
Mark Wright, again with running backs on each side. Here's the hard count, doesn't pull the Reivers off, looks to the bench, gets the call. Now he gets set. Wright, waist high on the snap. Turns, gives it off to Collins around the right side, has some room across the 20 to the 21. Positive pickup right there of about 8 yards. Will bring up a 4th down and short situation facing Hutchinson. Or 3rd down, 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 4. So 3rd and 4 for Hutchinson. Ball on the 21. 12 and a half to go in this 4th period of play. Hutchinson up by 2 touchdowns. Mark Wright looks to the sidelines, gets the call. They're going to let that play clock, which is at 10 right now, go down inside probably 3. Taking their time. Now it's down to 5 to 4. Back to passes. Wright has a receiver open, pick right there by the Reivers. coming up with it. They're down to the 5 to 10, close to the end zone. They'll mark it at about the 2-yard line. So just what you didn't want to have happen is coming up was Ruffin to make the pick, and Devin Ruffin. Ruffin comes up with the big pick and takes it all the way down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line.
Just the second interception of the year, and that's what kind of worried you earlier on in this game and what we saw a little bit against Independence. He got away with it against Independence, throwing it into coverage, and we've seen him try to throw into double coverage a couple times today, and that time burned by Ruffin.
I don't think he even saw him because Ruffin stepped up and all of a sudden he was there, and all he had to do was catch the ball. So Hutchinson defense called on now to 2 yards to go from the 2-yard line. First and goal for the Reivers. And stoppage of play by the officials. The timeout is going to be taken by the Reivers of Iowa Western. 11:58 to go in the contest, fourth quarter. 34-20, Hutchinson on top. First and goal for the Reivers at the Blue Dragon 2-yard line. This is the Blue Dragon Sports Network. We'll be right back.
If you could own a vacuum that would last decades for under $200, would that pique your interest? The bag lady Donna Pitzer has bought out the inventory of another Panasonic dealer and is passing the savings on to you. Panasonic vacuums are the standard for many, and right now, get a top-of-the-line Panasonic Performance vacuum for only $199.95. These vacuums normally sell for $400, but right now, you can own one for only $199.95 with free delivery. These prices won't last, and neither will these vacuums. Call the bag lady Donna Pitzer at 663-4322.
Well, the Blue Dragons, with 11:58 to go in this fourth period of play, have to dig in right now. First and goal from the 2-yard line for the Reivers. They're on the Blue Dragon 2-yard line.
Yeah, second time the Reivers have started with the ball inside the 5.
So they'll set up. Again, they're going to go with Applewhite, the quarterback. He came in relief. They give off to White. He's going to try to pop to the outside. Hutchinson does not have the angle. Goes inside, really close for the touchdown. He'll get it. 2 yards out, run by White for the TD for the Reivers. 11:52 remaining to go in this fourth period of play. 34-26 now is your score. And see the Reivers pull it within one touchdown. And they'll get set to kick the extra point. Contreras will step in. He's out of Missouri Valley, Iowa. Sophomore, 6'1", 178-pound kicker. Coming into the game, he was 4 out of 4 for field goals. Point after, he was 6 out of 6, so he was perfect, but he missed earlier. So special teams have been affected by both teams. Here's the hold, the kick, the point on its way. Point after is good, and your score with 11:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Reivers pull within one score of the Dragons. 34-27, Hutchinson on top. We'll await the Reivers kickoff coming your way when we return right after this Blue Dragon Sports Network timeout. We'll be right back.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Superstores. We know when looking for a pre-owned vehicle, finding the exact vehicle can be tough. So we want to make it easy. We have over 500 pre-owned vehicles available in our huge inventory. How do we do it, you ask? Well, we have available in inventory from all of our other locations. And unlike the big chain stores, we do not charge to bring one in. So if we don't have it, we'll find it or we'll get it. So come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
All right, Blue Dragons will await the kickoff with 11:52 to go in this fourth period of play. 34-27 is your score. Hutchinson with the lead. And, Darren, sometimes we might see an onside kick.
Yeah, you could. I don't know that you're going to get it here because the Reivers should be backed up a little ways. At the end of that conversion, Tyus Phillips of the Reivers got tied up with a Blue Dragon and gets called for the personal foul.
Flag being picked up at the 4-yard line. Good eyes as you picked up on that, so they'll mark it back. So Hutchinson should get a return. They have Evans back there deep, and he has, in this ball game, became the main returner for the Blue Dragons, including that 95-yard kickoff return he had at the start of the third quarter of play.
No, it's possible they called offsetting. I really thought Tyus Phillips had the biggest push in that scuffle, but they called it on both players.
They're going to put it at the 35 and kick off from there. So here we go. But look how they're lining up. You never know when there's going to be the onside. And they might just try to go for it, although I kind of feel like, hey, you know what? Got to ask your defense to do something out there, and let's see what's going to happen. They got the pick earlier on. Here's the kick away. It'll be a high end-over-end kick taken by Evans at about the 5 or 6 yard line. He'll take it up front. He's got some room on the right side, still on his feet, still going down the sidelines over that right side, pushed out finally at the 31, 32 yard line. See where the line judge officially marks the football. They'll mark it at the 32. So a nice return, Darren, as Evans has proved his weight in goal today with a 95-yard touchdown return and a nice return right there out to about the 31.
I think you've seen a little bit of the emergence of Evans and probably has solidified himself as the kick returner for this team.
Important set of downs right here for Hutchinson, 11:46 to go. Again, in this fourth quarter of play, Blue Dragons gave the pick that took it all the way down to set up the 2-yard run by Evans on their last possession. Let's see if they can move the football here. Stoppage of play before the play gets going. An illegal procedure will be the call. It goes against Hutchinson. And coaching staff trying to get the Iowa Western fans fired up off there. It's going to be a 1st and 15 for Hutch from the 26. I normally don't care for it when teams go into the conservative offense. I kind of think sometimes you got to play with gotcha there. And I say that both for basketball as well as football. As the aggressive play, the Dragons came out successful in the first quarter play with little dump-offs in the flat. He's got Coleman on his right hip back there. Mark Wright. Snap is good. He catches it. He's going to follow his blockers. Nice inside. Picks up a little out of nothing, up just short of the 30-yard line. I think they'll officially mark it at about the 29-yard line. So a little bit of a pickup. Got a few yards back after the penalty. Second down and 12 for the Blue Dragons. PA just announced 2nd and 1, but I think he's looking at the wrong marker. To keep by Wright, slow developing play. Nice inside, finally gets taken down. And he's way short of the first down, of course, so key 3rd down play coming up. 3rd and about 8. 3rd and 9, they say, from the 32.
So the question is, what do you do? Last time on 3rd down, you throw an interception. Do you trust your quarterback to make the safe throw, or do you try to keep it on the ground and take up just a little bit more clock?
All right, Iowa Western fans making a lot of noise. 3rd down and 9. Got to get to the 41. Back to pass. Steps up, has some room. He's going to be racked from behind. Wrapping him up. Back there is going to be, looks like
Dominic Kiwan.
Kiwan comes up with a stop and brings up a 4th down and 9 situation. So 10-19, clock moving away. Hutchins going to have to call up on her defense to get something done. Let's see if Sebastian Garcia can get a good kick away. Back deep will be Murray for Iowa Western. Garcia gets set to punt. Clock just under 10 minutes to go in the contest. Gets the kick away. Kind of shanks it off on the right side. Not a good kick. Out of bounds at the goal. Let's see where they mark it. And Iowa Western is going to have great field position.
He was trying to keep it away from Clark Solo, who came in, and when he did, it affected the punt to where Sebastian tried to put a little more pop on it, so the ball essentially went straight out.
They'll mark it on the Blue Dragon 49-yard line, and Sebastian kind of shanked it over on the right side. Clock at 9:50 to go with this drive. 34-27, a 7-point lead for Hutchinson, but Iowa Western with the football. Plenty of time left in this one for lots of scores. Iowa Western has been successful with not a lot of clock. They'll give it quick up the middle. White picks up about 5 yards on the carry. He'll carry it forward right to the 45-yard line, giving officially, let's see where his knee hit. It's a little bit shorter than that. He's going to mark it at the 46, so pick up a 3. 2nd down and 7. Bankston on the stop for Hutchinson. Applewhite came in relief of Cam Thomas, the quarterback, after Thomas was not effective. Back to pass, and then get to him. The big rush by the Blue Dragons brings Applewhite down. He'll huddle up down at the 40. Actually, they'll mark that one right at the 45-yard line. So a big loss on the play, loss of 9.
Nice sack by Anthony Green.
So the big Stop by Anthony Green makes it just under 9 to go. 3rd down and 18. So a big 3rd down play here. Don't let any guy get by you. You know he's going to throw it. Back to pass as Applewhite steps up. Gets hit again. Another loss on the play. Hutchinson drills him all the way back to the 34. Big-time stop by the Dragons.
They brought Anthony Green twice, and twice he was able to get through for the sack.
Applewhite saying, what truck just hit me as he steps off the field. 4th down and 23. So they were facing, what was it, 4th and 7? Or 2nd and 7, I think. It went backwards now. 4th and 23 from the 38. So they'll punt the football away with 8:17 left to go in the contest. Blue Dragons have 2 back there. Let's see if they go with a sideline kick again, which has been very effective the last 2 times. They'll send Gunners on the outside right side. That's probably where he's going to place it. Here comes the sideline. He'll punt it away straight away this time. Fair catch taken by Tinsley at the 33, and that's where Hutchinson will set up shop. So 1st and 10 with 7:56 to go in the 4th period of play for Hutchinson on their own 32-yard line. So Hutchinson gets set. Darren, again, they went to a conservative set. They've been successful, however. But again, the pick a little earlier ago set up the touchdown, and a muff punt set up one, too. Otherwise, Hutchinson would pretty much have this one wrapped up.
Yeah, 2 times. Iowa Western able to start inside the Blue Dragon 5.
Give off to Cross. He'll cross over on the 30 all the way up to about the 35. Nice pickup right there by Cross. Pickup of 3. Actually 4. 2nd down and 6 from the 35. Somebody's got to check out because the helmet popped off, and I think it's going to be Cross. Back in is Coleman now for Hutchinson. He's had a good game. Coleman at the end of the 4th period of play for Hutchinson with 53 yards on 8 carries. He was the leading rusher for Hutchinson at the end of the quarter. So 2nd down and 6 now. Hutchinson's got to get to the 41-yard line, their own 41. They turn and give to Coleman. Coleman quickly corralled and thrown for little or no gain, maybe even a loss on the play. They'll mark it at the 35-yard line, right at the 35. 35 and a half. So they say officially the 36, 3rd down and 5. Back in checks for the Blue Dragons offensively will be Stacy Marshall, that tight end position. Got Tinsley in the slot, Donaldson on the left side. Number 83, Braham, who's had a good game on the right side, split out wide. Give Mark Wright, the quarterback, gets the snap, tucks it away, carries it up front, right into a whole pile of Blue Dragons and Reivers, and little or no gain. It's going to bring up 4th down punt situation for Hutchinson. 4th and 5 from the 36. 6:23, clock moving away. So Hutchinson defense is going to be called on once again. Let's see if Hutch can get a good punt. Garcia did not get a good punt last time. Let's see what happens this time. And I hate to be critical because he's had a good ball game, but that shank was a little unnerving for me. Let's see if he really can get a hold of one here. And the Dragons can pin him back. Clock under 6 now to go. Hutchinson 34-27 with the lead. Good snap. Kicked by Garcia. Gets this one away. End over ender. Is going to go over the head of the player and goes all the way down. Hits it to 10, down to the 5, down to the 4, down to the 1. It'll be down right there. Hutchinson will give the Reivers the ball at their own 2-yard lines. 62-yard kick by Garcia, and that was timely.
Now, great job by C.J. Agbana to get down there and to stop that ball before it bounced into the end zone.
C.J. had a hustle to get down there as that ball was going end over end. Good job done by Randy McKay, chief engineer today back at the Blue Dragons studio on Country 102.9 side. Glad to have you along on Country 102.9, KHUT in Hutchinson, as well as KWBW 1450 AM and 98.5 FM, and all you listeners, even the ones in Montana. Glad to have you along with 5:44 to go in the contest as we're nearing the 20 minutes after the hour of 4 o'clock here in Council Bluffs. So the Dragons will play some prevent defense, so to speak. Hutchinson sets up defensively. And they give it off to White And he carries forward across the 10-yard line. Let's see where they officially mark it, right at the 10, just a little beyond the 10. Stoppage out there by the right corner. Katron Allen comes up and makes the stop. Again, Applewhite, the quarterback, to turn a give again to White, and he's going to be wrapped up right at the 10-yard line. Little or no gain. Brings up a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Reivers with 5:09 clock moving away in this 4th period of play. They actually mark it at the 12, 3rd down and 1. Just under 5 to go. Snap goes. They'll keep it. Applewhite around the outside trying to get the edge. He won't. He'll be knocked out right around the 12, and he was really close. I think they had it on the 12. I think he's going to be short by about a yard. Let's check it for sure. See, the spot is going to be good. It's going to move the chain, so 1st and 10. That's a big 1st down. Applewhite kept it himself around that left edge and got just enough. They'll mark it at the 13. So, again, this game was delayed with the lightning strike right as we went to halftime. Delayed for about 45 minutes. Right now it's at 4:30. He did not get out of bounds, so that keeps the clock going. Back to pass is Applewhite. He's in on the right side, has a receiver knocked away at the last second. Great job at the last second by Justin Gardner to get a hand on it.
Yeah, we've seen him come up big a couple of times today as they've tested him on that far sideline, and he's been there every single time.
Stops the clock with 4:22 to go. Hutchinson leading 34-27. Iowa Western trying to get one more drive and get an opportunity to tie this thing up, maybe even go for 2 if they're able to score. But we'll see what happens. They're a long ways away. They have the ball on their own 13. Applewhite, long snap count, back to pass, steps up. He's going to be dropped down at about the 1-yard line. They'll mark it officially on the 2, but coming in strong was the Blue Dragons, leading the charge, Latrell Bankston. Big-time rush by Hutchinson. That one was 2nd down. This one now 3rd and 19, and this could be your ball game if Hutchinson's able to come up with a stop here and make them punt. Applewhite, quarterback. And a movement on the Blue Dragon line off sides will give them 5 more. It'll move it, make it to the 14. I'll move it to the 9. So 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Rodney Matthews just getting a little bit of a jump that time.
So they'll get set with the ball on the 9-yard line, 3rd down and 14. Rain that came through kind of made the flies a little pesky in the booth here. I'll blame it on that. With 3:42 to go. Back to pass, Applewhite. Receiver thrown up, picked, is made by the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson comes up with it, it's Williams. Williams takes it all the way down to the 12, and that might seal the deal. Hutchinson got the pick when they needed it, and Williams with another pick. He's had one other one today. And Hutchinson comes up with a big pick by Williams. They will have the ball deep in Reaver territory. We have an injured player down on the field, and I believe it's a Blue Dragon. So let's see if that is Williams as he hit the turf hard at about the 12. They're going to officially say it's on the 13. 1st and 10 on the 13. So they're tending to him right now. We're going to
Katron Allen.
Yeah, Katron Allen. And he will be attending to him. So big pick by Williams. He had 2 last week, Darren, 2 today, and he just continues to impress. And that one, you could tell he knew he had an opportunity because Applewhite put some air underneath it.
Well, these defensive backs have been so good. Not only Williams, but you think about Jacorian Bennett. He's broken up a couple of passes today, and you go to the other side of the field. They haven't been able to get the ball past Gardner either.
Here's the scenario. 3:32 to go in this 4th period of play. 34-27. Hutchinson has the ball on the 12-yard line. I was correct. I thought he got it back to the 12. 1st and 10 for Hutchinson on the 12-yard line of Iowa Western. And they're still attending to the Blue Dragon player. And off the sidelines he will come. And again, Katron Allen limps off. Let's see if he's going to be okay or not. did not come off under his own power, but he was helped off and seems to be all right. So here we go. Mark Wright, the quarterback. Hutchinson holds to give to Coleman, has some room on the outside, tries to bounce inside. One player misses inside the 10 down to about the 7. And the stop was made by Wilkins, Kenny Wilkins Jr. for Iowa Western. And now you're looking at the ball on the 8, second down and 6. Pickup of 4 on the play. Marshall going in at that tight end position on that right side. Clock down to 2:59, under 3. Play clock with 14 seconds. Here's keeper by Wright. He tries to go over. Ball's loose on the turf and going to be picked up by Iowa Western. So Mark Wright tried to hurdle one player and ends up losing the football. They fumble it away. The ball's going to be deep in Reiver territory, but they will have the ball with 2:48 to go.
So you think an opportunity to kind of close the game out, and the Blue Dragons give it back.
2:48 remaining to go in the contest. They'll have the ball at their own 8-yard line, 1st and 10. Mark Wright tried to hurdle a player, and then as he was doing so, the ball popped out loose. And when I thought Hutchinson had this wrapped up, thought they had a good chance to go up by 2 touchdowns, but right now they give it back to the Reivers. So 1st and 10 from the 8. We're in the 4th quarter of play, 2:48 to go. Hutchinson 34-27 over Iowa Western. Applewhite, since he's came in that first quarters, went the distance, back to pass, sets up, throws over on the right side, incomplete pass, broken up over that far side. Breaking up the pass was Justin Gardner, intended for Corey Reed, who's been the primary receiver for Applewhite today. Applewhite going into this quarter was 6 out of 19 for 126 yards. Reed with 4 catches for 57 yards. 2nd down and 10 now. Stops the clock with 2:44 to go. Back to pass again. The guy's going to run for his life and going to be dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Coming up with a stop. Nice job done by Oliver McDowell. McDowell comes out of there with a big stop. So Hutchinson, he's out of Rock Island, Illinois. Came into the game with 3 tackles. East St. Louis High School is where he went to school. Nice job by Oliver McDowell.
That's the big thing. You keep seeing this defense step up.
Marks it at the 5, 3rd down and 13. Another big 3rd down play for the Reivers. Back to pass. Steps up, dumps it away, right at the goal line. They're going to make the stop. White gets out to the 5-yard line, but they will have to punt the football. Maybe picked up a yard. 4th down, and they say 13 from the 5 with 1:50 to go. So they're going to call the timeout with 1:49. The clock is stopped. Reivers called the timeout. We'll get a break in. Don't go away. Hutchinson hangs on right now with a 7-point lead with 1:49 to play. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Radio Network.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
9 sacks right now for 54 yards for Hutchinson. They have really played very well. 1:49 to go in the contest. And the Blue Dragon defense being called on for one more play. 4th down and 12 from the 6.
I was going to say that timeout tells me that they are going to go for this.
And they will go for it. They feel like there's no other chance here with 4th and 12. Movement. And see what they were drawn off or not. See what the call is going to be. 4th down and 12 is what it was, with 6 on the 6-yard line. They'll come in and converse. Saw movement on the left side of the Blue Dragon defensive line.
And it looked initially like they were going to keep that play going, so that would tell me it's against the Blue Dragons.
So 4th and 12, let's see what it becomes, because it's not a major infraction. It still would be 4th down to be offside, so it makes it 4th down and 7. So to move it up to the 11-yard line, 4th and 7 from their own 11-yard line, 1 minute and 48 to go. Here we go. Reivers with the football. They trail it by 1 touchdown. They've got to pick up 7 yards. Applewhite looks to the sidelines, steps up, gives the signal to his guards, and now he's set. Waist-high snap, back to pass, looks across the middle, has a receiver out there. Incomplete pass, and Hutchinson will take over and downs right there. And Darren, that should do it with 1 minute and 43 to go.
Well, if there was ever such a thing as a blanket coverage, Jacorian Bennett showed you exactly what it was there, where he's behind the receiver, but able to jump up at the last second and knock that ball down from behind.
Darren will be chatting with Coach Ryan Rhodes after the contest. They'll come back and give a quick recap of the contest, and then we'll go into the coach's show. It's been a long one today, 4:30. Again, you listen to the Blue Dragon Athletics and Sports on Country 102.9 KHUT in Hutchinson, as well as KWBW Hutchinson, Kansas, 1450 AM and 98.5 FM. So glad you could join us. Hope folks from out of town at the fair are enjoying yourselves today. Right here, we've had a little rain, lightning delay, and right now Hutchinson will take over and see if they just drop the knees. 7 on the play clock. They will not. They're going to safely run it. They'll give it off to Coleman, and he'll go inside the 9, to the 9. So now they'll set up 2nd down. And we'll see if Iowa Western will stop the clock, and I believe they do again. Reivers will stop the clock. Gives us a chance for another break. 1 minute and 37 to go in the contest. Hutch up by 7, 34-27. We'll be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this.
Need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started, or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back again. So glad to have you
today on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. 34-27, Hutchinson with the lead. Hutchinson number 1 in the nation. Iowa Western number 7 in the nation with 1 minute and 39 to go. Reivers called that timeout.
Still a chance to get the ball back, too, with under a minute. And you have to remember, you go back earlier in the game, nothing is a gimme right here. Blue Dragons had a 22-yard field goal blocked earlier in this game.
Very true. So they have 1 timeout remaining, the Reivers do. Hutchinson has 2 timeouts remaining. 1 minute and 39 to go. And Mark Wright, quarterback, sets up in the shotgun. Gets a snap, gives it off to Coleman. Coleman dancing inside the 10, all the way down to about the 8-yard line. So we'll see where they spot the football right there. And now another timeout taken by the Reivers, and that will be their last. So they are out of timeouts right now. So we're going to keep it here with 1 minute and 34 to go. And stoppage of play with timeout taken by the Reivers, 34-27. And Hutchinson, first time in the 88-year history, Darren, to get that number 1 ranking. And looks like right now, at least, with 1 minute and 34 to go, they got a good opportunity to hang on to it, even though it's 3rd down and 7 with the ball on the 8.
Yeah, it depends on what happens in these next 2 plays. You can imagine that the Blue Dragons are going to keep the ball on the ground here and probably set up for a field goal opportunity. They even have 2 timeouts left if they want to, on 4th down, take that timeout right before the kick to get a little extra time off the board.
We'll see what's going to happen. The final, by the way, Iowa Central beat Coffeyville 45-17. Right now with 1 minute and 34 to go. It's 34-27 here. Other games getting underway tonight. We'll run down those in the postgame. So Hutchinson breaks huddle. Playcox gets going. It's down to 22. They're going to milk that thing down all the way inside of 3, I'm almost certain. As Mark Wright brings his team up, he has Coleman back at the tailback position. He'll split out wideouts right and left both, and Tinsley's in the slot on that left side. But I don't think you're going to see him air it out. He turns, gives it off to Coleman. He'll spin inside. They're going to try to strip the football, and stoppage of play takes place. It's going to bring up 4th down. A minute and clock clicking away. They can't stop the clock with a minute and 21 to go. 34 on the game clock. So here we go. Hutchinson will try a field goal, possibly. Coach Rhodes talking to Sebastian Garcia. They've had one blocked, so let's see what happens.
See, and I think you take a timeout here if you're Coach Rhodes right as this clock gets to 1, and I think that's what he's told the referee. When the play clock gets to 1, I want a timeout.
57 seconds left to go. So here it's going to be a 24-yard attempt. Garcia gets set. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. And now they get that timeout. So timeout taken by Hutchinson. We're going to quick break in. 45 seconds remaining to go in the contest. Hutch leading at 34-27. 4th down for Hutchinson on the opponent's 46-yard line. We're going to take a timeout and be back with more on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. All right, everybody, and welcome back again. 23 yards on the attempt here with 4th and 5 to go. Ball on the 6. 45 seconds remaining to go. Hutchinson gets ready for Seabass to kick it. Oh, high snap, gets it down. Kick is on its way. Will it get through there? It is blocked. It comes off the upright. So Iowa Western with one more opportunity. And a stoppage of play, they come out with it, but it hit the goalpost. And if I remember correctly, we had that happen a couple years ago here as well. So it was a real high snap. And coming up with the football was Arrington. Got it down in time. Seabass kick looked like a wounded duck at Thanksgiving right there. It hit the goal, and now with 39 seconds left, they'll have the ball 1st and 10. From the 20, so another opportunity, Darren, after we had this one already put away in the bag.
Yeah, you think you've asked your defense to do so much and that they could do no more, and now they've got to get back out onto the field and make one final stop.
39 ticks left to go on the clock, and stranger things have happened. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Applewhite, the quarterback, has wide in there at this left hip. Applewhite back to pass. You know it's going to be a pass play. Goes on the outside. Catch is made at the 30-yard line, forward to about the 31, and then out of bounds. Will stop the clock with 31 seconds left to go on the clock. And the play made by Marcus Rogers on the catch.
Williams had good coverage. He just slipped on his break toward the ball.
And that's where you talk about the wet surface. Brings it out to the 36. 1st and 10 from the 36 with 31 seconds remaining. They have no timeout, so if you can stop him in bounds, stepping up, he sidesteps one defender, hit as he throws, incomplete pass, stops the clock with 25 seconds remaining. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Quick hurry, he sidestepped one of the Blue Dragon defenders, and Applewhite got the pass away, but incomplete.
That ball almost stuck to the glove of Stoudemire, and then he was a little slow getting up as he stretched out maybe a little bit too much on that play, headed to the ground.
Hutchinson front 4, pinning back and coming after it. They cannot hardly run a running play because the clock would elapse. Here's Applewhite back to pass. Pocket collapses. He pulls up, throws a winger out of bounds, and actually caught by Ryan Rhodes. Incomplete. 18 seconds left to go. 3rd down and 10. So Hutchinson gets set defensively again. Game clock stopped with 18 seconds on the incomplete pass. Applewhite, snap count, gets it back, sets up, goes across the middle, catch is made at the 50 to get out of bounds at the 49, stops the clock with 12 seconds to go. So the catch was made by Reed. Corey Reed's been the favorite receiver, and it's inside of Blue Dragon territory at the 49.
Yeah, you give up a big chunk of change, but at the same time, you keep the offense in front of you, which the Dragons did there.
Nickel defense now for the Dragons. Back to pass, White heaves it. Incomplete. Pick was just about made to say it's out of bounds. Williams thought he had another one.
Yeah, well, he did. He caught it, but he was well out of bounds.
6 seconds to go. 2nd down and 10. Let's see if he just heaves it for a jump pass or not. And a timeout's going to be taken by the Blue Dragons. We're going to keep it here. Darren, they got some options here. They might just heave it downfield, hope for an interference call, or maybe, I don't know if he can get it to the end zone or not, but got to see what they're going to call here. Hutchinson is out of timeouts. Iowa Western out of timeouts with 6 seconds to go. Number 1, Hutchinson trying to knock off number 7, Iowa Western.
Yeah, well, now it's the time to heave it. The question is he going to have enough time to heave it? You know, he's gotten a lot of pressure from the Blue Dragons. The only thing that's going to save him is a couple more safeties backing up to keep everybody in front of him.
All right, 6 seconds left. Blue Dragons huddle, talk things over. This Iowa Western team going into this quarter, time of possession was 29-16, and they've had it more times in this fourth quarter, but still, I think that time of possession percentage is probably about the same. All right. Hutchinson defense pretty loose. They'll send out and get set. Chua Bond is going to be back deep. Big time nickel. You can call this a dime defense. They're going to try to make sure to keep everybody in front of them. That's why it is so wide open in the middle. 6 seconds to go. Back to pass. Applewood tries to get away. They got him for the sack, and Hutchinson's going to hang on and win this game. Hutchinson with the big sack, coming up with the big sack. Latrell Bankston, and Hutchinson hangs on to win at 34-27. This is a signature win for the Blue Dragons over number 7, Iowa Western, a team they've only beat one other time. Wow, what a finish right there. Bankston came up big time and got the sack. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, get set to recap this ball game. Hutchinson wins it 34-27. We'll be back from Council Bluffs and the Blue Dragon Sports Network right after this 2-minute timeout.
It's one of a kind. Remember, Amelia Bedelia is filled with thousands of beads and stones, and with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelia is 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons!
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Stay warm and look fabulous at the same time with comfy, trendy, and affordable clothing. You'll also appreciate the personal attention that you'll always get when you shop at Brick House Boutique. Big City Chic in a downtown boutique at 117 South Main in Hutchinson.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
It's time to finish your taxes. Whether we filed your extension or not, bring your tax information to H&R Block and let our tax professionals ensure you get every deduction and credit you deserve. The tax filing deadline is October the 15th, and the office at 29 West 2nd, downtown Hutchinson, is open Monday through Friday from 10 till 5. Don't wait to file your tax return and risk penalties for missing the deadline. Walk in or call 662-5321.